Welcome to Shardcast, the Brandon Sanderson podcast. We're a bunch of mega fans giving you the news discussion and, of course, a whole lot of opinions about Brandon's works and the Cosmere. I'm Eric, and joining me is Evgeni.
Hi, I go by Argent in the places where I can go by Argent, and I go by other names in the places where I cannot.
Yep. Also joining us is Adim.
Hey, I'm X.
Hey, and you're back after internet difficulties for some time.
Yeah, after much trial and tribulation, I'm back.
It's like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, as a white mage, it's Bonnie. What's up?
Hi, I'm Cosmeregirl.
Wow, that's so chipper. Take it down a few notches for your Bonnie.
We already did this. We did this already.
Well, I don't remember that. Okay?
Hi, I'm
That was a while ago.
Cosmeregirl.
There we go. That's better.
There you go.
And I'm Chaos, and I have show and tell because, I guess this episode will air like a week from recording, but Light Day was last week as of November 2nd when we're doing this. And I already got my Light Day stuff. I did Lost Metal Leatherbound as a separate order, so that hasn't arrived, so I can't show that off, but we have some of the new swag.
Oh, it's pretty.
So this is the satchel. It's surprisingly heavy duty, this satchel. It's got some zipper pockets here. So it just likes the satchel. Then,
And while you're showing things off, I will inform or remind everyone that Light Day is Brandon's / Dragonsteel's kind of equivalent of a holiday sale. They don't want to do Black Friday. They don't want to do Cyber Monday because they want to have their employees take time off and not have to work during holidays and stuff like that. So they have a made-up holiday called Light Day. It's not fully made up. It does come from Roshar, but Roshar is made up. So
look at you explaining the things that I'm not doing. So I appreciate that. You guys just don't listen and just know these things? Come on.
I am just accruing
that's good.
Goodwill because my show and tell is not going to be topical, and
So
people will need to.
we have the Cosmere umbrella, and it took Jess a bit to figure this out, but it goes like this.
That's
Yeah,
how
so
that's
pretty.
umbrellas indoors.
Brothers, that's how umbrellas work.
I don't know. I'm used to them like without a button, and you like just lift it up like that. Yeah.
Okay, well.
And so like this side, it's got like the Cosmere symbol on this, but it's pretty subtle.
It is
and on the
pretty
inside
subtle.
in
I
here.
do like that.
So it's pretty good.
Does it have...
It's a very strong spring. Like this actually takes a bit of force.
Okay. Does it have like a copyright or a trademark logo next to like Cosmere or anywhere like?
Yes, it does. It's Cosmere registered trademark, and this is the same
Nice.
symbol that is on all like the pins, which Jess bought a lot of the pins.
Yeah.
And we were like, there's just going to be infinite pins. We can't just find all the infinite pins. But then Jess is like, but what if we got more pins? Because we were done
Yeah,
at Series 1, and then we bought a bunch of pins.
The pins are a problem.
Oh, and last, not related to Light Day at all. Well, I guess I have the Elsecallers pants on, which the pants for the Radiant Orders, they're very comfy. Do recommend. But this is from the Year of Sanderson, and the reason I'm showing this off to you is because Sky, my cat, or one of my two cats, he keeps moving Hesho around the house. It used to be on the bookcase. And for a long time, Hesho was just like on his cat bed. And I found it in this room. And so I'm like, okay, that's cute. So he moves Hesho around. Doesn't destroy Hesho, just was like, yeah, I'm just going to move him around and snuggle with him. I'm like, okay, sounds good.
I think that's his show and not yours anymore.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Any other show and tell things? I'm not going to show off all the pins. There's lots of pins. There's way too many pins.
I do want to show something off. It has nothing to do with the Cosmere, but it has something to do that is with something that's near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
And that is...
yes, you are. Yes,
very
sure.
nice.
Slay the Princess.
Sure.
Uh,
yes.
Those of you who have been within vocal range of me will have heard
within
will have
60
heard me-
feet. D&D range. Listening range.
Yeah.
On the same continent.
Will have heard me rave about this game, story, visual novel, take it as you will. It's this beautifully like hand illustrated visual novel game with like really interesting and deep and also touching themes and a little bit of horror, because horror is part of the human experience. But at its heart, it is a love story, even if it doesn't look like it when there is knife work involved. But they did.
Well, you know.
They did.
Sure.
They did an art book for this thing, as well as like there's a statue and stuff like that. And I do love art books, and I do get those a lot. Two things, or at least two things, that are really neat about this one is one, this art book is also kind of a choose your own adventure book.
Oh,
so in the
that's
same way
fun.
that you can play the game and you select dialogue options, and that progresses the story in accordance to
Oh, that's fun.
the dialogue option that you have selected. And let's see how bad this is. Okay, it's pretty bad. Okay. Okay. Hold up.
We're
we'll be
learning things
back.
about the NVIDIA tool thing.
We will be back.
No, you're gonna ruin the illusion, Evgeni.
Okay.
The illusion's broken. You're not
I have
floating
left-
in space.
I have
That's
left the
crazy.
Not in
visuals.
space.
That's crazy.
No, I was never in space. Okay.
What?
So, but yeah, so this is kind of what that looks like. And this is not going to look anything amazing because I'm showing you like early bits that are not spoilery, because I don't want to spoil the story. But you can see there's
Evgeni
stuff
will
like,
not spoil the story of this. He will shank you if you spoil the story.
that is accurate. I will shank you.
Yes.
So you can maybe see there's like a turn to page 9 as you make a decision, and then let's see if we can find. We can. There's a little bit of.
Evgeni furiously trying to find something cool but not spoilery.
There's a little bit of. Well,
Cool. It's
I mean,
cool,
there's a
guys.
little bit of
Trust
blood
me.
on
It's
this, but
cool.
It's
It's
fine.
cool. It does get
but yeah,
very good
so-
reviews on Steam.
You can.
She
see
seems nice.
kind of how.
She
So
seems
it
nice.
shows you.
I like
It shows
her.
you a lot of art. It shows you a lot of the sprites that they use in this thing. It does tell you the. I mean, you can play this in the book, and there's also like a little bit of commentary from the artist, the singular artist, who by hand drew over 4,000 images.
Okay.
For
Cool.
this
That's
game.
impressive.
Okay.
Just pencil on all
Yeah.
of them. It is insane.
Oh wow.
But I did get that, and I'm a huge fan of it. Slay the Princess by Black Tabby Games. Beautiful story, beautiful art, beautiful music as well, beautiful voice acting. Anyone familiar with the Magnus Archives will be familiar with the voice of the Archivist. He is one half of the voices in this game. So always recommend. Good stuff. I'm going back to space.
Wow. It really just doesn't. You get to space really quickly these days. Just technology is amazing.
FTL, baby.
Hey. Also, who said something about umbrellas and doors here? Is that you, Adam?
I said it's unlucky to open umbrellas indoors.
Okay. See, here's the thing. So the YouTube comments are going to comment on this unless I address this. There's no mechanism for this happening. We don't even know that there's a mechanism that's possible. It's like astrology. The positions, how are they going to do that? Through gravity? How's that going to happen? I don't know. There's no explanation. There's no mechanism. It's like, ooh, it's a black cat. It's spooky. Black cats are adorable. What? This is nonsense. In fact, I'm going to open the umbrella anyway. Again, wow, look at that. And I'm going to spite the gods.
Well, don't you have a black cat in your house? You should.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
walk
it's
in front
fine.
of
It's
them.
great. He's great. These
And
superstitions,
then also
You're-
under a ladder.
you're allowed to have your superstitions, but I like even when we play D&D, I'm like, oh, this combat is going so well, and they're like, don't jinx it. I'm like, you know what?
Don't jinx it.
We wrecked that enemy that we fought, and it was fine. Nothing's gonna happen. It's randomness. Math professor out. It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. You are just seeing patterns that don't exist. They don't exist, guys. It's random events.
Okay.
It's not a real thing.
However,
Show me if something happened and we can demonstrate it, then let's do it repeatedly and show the effect. Then I'm in. I'll believe it. Anyway.
hand the umbrella to a kid.
Oh, yeah. And have them press the button. Yeah, that would be pretty unlucky.
No, it's
but,
unlucky.
Yeah, okay. That's, well, you know,
I think
We
it might
do
be
have the
children that are
mechanism there.
unlucky, not umbrellas.
we have the mechanism in that case.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's talk about the news briefly, which we did not put in our outline at all. But hot off the presses, guys. This is actual news. Brandon said
Less than a month old.
it's days old as of recording, and so it will be
Well,
less than a
as of-
fortnight old when we're reporting this. So, you know.
No, that's Kelsier.
Yeah, true.
Brandon said that the Elantris sequels are more maybes now. Than like definite things. I did not listen to the stream, so this is just what you guys have told me. So
It's a very soft maybe. Brandon said that Hollywood has been eating up more of his time than he has anticipated.
sure.
And he wants to make sure that Mistborn and Stormlight don't suffer for it. And so other things may as a result of that. And Elantris is now a maybe. I don't read much into it. One, because it is not yet time for him to write Elantris sequels. So like if he's busy now, that doesn't mean that he's going to be busy in a few years when he has to get through that. Like if anything,
Yeah.
Bloods is the thing that is suffering.
Yeah, they are sort of in an awkward place, I guess, in terms of like, I think, well, we'll see when he does the State of the Sanderson thing in like a month. But I think the plan is still to release them alternating with Era 3. So it's like Era 3 Book 1, Elantris 2, and so on. So,
And my recollection was that he was going to write all of Ghostbloods and then write the Elantris sequels at the end and then have the Elantris sequels come out.
yeah.
That was going to be the quick turnaround one, whereas Ghostbloods is
so it's
not going to be the quick turnaround.
I can see how he's sort of like projecting if he's expecting to maintain or increase the amount of time he has to spend in these meetings or whatever, then the tight timings will be sort of hard to reach.
The specific wording around it too, if I'm remembering right, it was maybe, maybe not in the beginning, and we'll see at the end. So definitely not a hard no, just a not sure.
Yeah, not even a firm no. It was a very loosey-goosey maybe. So at the very least, I would wait until State of the Sanderson for something less off the cuff.
Yeah.
And we'll see where the upcoming years take us.
I feel like of any author that I'm worried about, it's like, I need to make up some time and, bust my butt to get things done. I'm not worried about that with Brandon. I just,
No,
I feel like that's not a problem we need to worry about in this fandom. I don't know.
no, I am already budgeting for 2033 Secretor projects 6 through 10.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Coming to Kickstarter near you.
I'm unconcerned with that, but it is interesting to see because like other maybe projects were like Nightblood and not Dust Brigade. Sorry. Night Brigade. Here, but yeah, there hasn't been a lot of progress bar. Like I guess like a week ago, Ghostbloods went up 65% to 67, which is incredible difference. But not much is happening there. So
Yeah, he was making good progress early in the year, and then kind of post Celsius, essentially.
Yeah.
Has been a bit of a crawl, but we'll see. We have seen him move those bars.
Yeah, like what's he been up to?
Yeah, I mean,
but
it's a fair question after Ember Dark and 4 other books. Like, it's a fair question.
Yeah.
But the answer could just be Hollywood, right?
Someone made the comment that he seems like he just wanted to jump into the sci-fi stage of things, and I think that seems pretty fair too.
Like, he got halfway through Ghostbloods 1. I'm like, modern era. What if I just write more sci-fi? Yeah,
exactly.
True. Anyway, I'm not worried about the Elantris sequels. Like, I guess the only thing to say about Elantris sequels is that, say, unlike a secret project, that I think if Brandon needed to bust his butt to get a secret project done for whatever reason, Elantris has the baggage of it being a sequel and that he would, need to reread Elantris, which I'm never sure how much Brandon rereads things before he writes the new books. I genuinely don't know. The last time we know he did that was with Wheel of Time. I don't know if he's ever publicly said he's gone through and done a big reread, but maybe he does. He just doesn't talk about it. But
so clearly the answer is sci-fi Elantris then.
I mean, that'd be cool.
We do have those Aeonic Force Shields or Force Fields or whatever they were.
Oh,
I do see a possible future where it's I can't make it work the timeline where I'm writing it right after Ghostbloods and getting them to come out while Ghostbloods is being published. So instead, the stories, whatever was important in the Elantris sequels I assume that there's important stuff in those books that is relevant to Ghostbloods, which is why he wants to alternate them. That could not be the case. But if there is any of that stuff, then he massages it into some other place that works. And then the Elantris sequels are still sequels, but they're different than what he planned on writing.
Yeah, certainly things going from the idea stage to implementation. Brandon's at the point where he's writing Ghostbloods all the way through. He can adjust where things are, right? So it's not a huge deal necessarily. We're not going to know the difference in the end of what Brandon's original idea is and how he has changed implementation to work with reality, right? So.
I don't know. No, I'm just excited about Elantrian spaceships.
Evgeni, this is the part on Elgato where you turn yourself into the angel there. Go do that.
Oh,
nice.
Right. I could have become an Elantrian.
Yeah.
Zoom up screen.
Hold up, I was unprepared for my for the Shayout to take me.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
Whoa.
Space Age Elantris? No way!
We don't need Space Age Elantris. We have Space Age Elantris
at home.
There we go. Here, now you can even see my features a little bit.
Wow,
that's very silvery, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, what would be your
light.
Aeonic name, Evgeni? You've encountered. You're not King Reoshem yet, because he had a different name before. Put that on your bingo cards, guys.
Good old King Reoshem.
But how would we get Evgeni to an Aeonic name?
Well, the second half of mine, E and I, could be could turn into Enai. It could be, but it sounds like there's too many vowels, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not vowels, but consonants. The VG are
that's tough.
Are tough. Yeah, I can probably massage if I had to, I could probably massage that into Evgeni or something like that, right? Although I probably wouldn't want to infringe on the Pokemon. I don't know. I'm happy with the version that I ended up getting, and I don't want to mess with that.
There you go. And are you saying I put you on the spot for that, for this entire tangent that we did not, it's not in the outline at all here? I like that.
No, I'm not saying no.
Great. Well, that's the news. I want you to know that we did actually have a discussion where we said we could put a title being like Elantris sequels canceled with like exclamation marks and question marks. It's still tempting. It's still tempting. Just know restraint.
And we could also
Brandon Sanderson cancels Elantris sequels.
We could double up on the clickbait also and make a separate video that's like the same exact thing, but it's talking about how he's confirming that there are adaptations happening.
Yes, of course. Yeah. That's a short, obviously. The short gets.
Yeah.
And then we link to the episode, and they're like, "What are you guys talking about?" Yes. Yeah.
It's time for us to start spreading misinformation.
Well, look, it does get clicks. I think the only time we've really done clickbaits is the solo videos when Brandon reveals secret projects, which frankly, I do think the exclamation marks and question marks are relevant. Like, what the hell? Brandon's crazy. Sue me if you don't like it. Come on. Don't sue me, actually. I don't know what claim you'd even have there. Anyway, I guess we're done with the padding the episode part of the show.
Let's stop this nonsense and talk about some RPG stuff.
So we're back to talking about the Cosmere RPG, and I say we in that I was not in the last episode we did on the Cosmere RPG, so I'm here too. Last time, you guys talked about a lot of the mechanics, the art, other stuff in the Cosmere RPG. And now we decided that episode was way too long because it was way too long. And so the lore we're going to talk about later. The YouTube comments are like, I can't believe you didn't talk about the Radiant Oaths. That's this episode. So we're going to go through talking about some of the new lore. We're not going to be talking about Stonewalker content, just stuff from the World Book and Handbook, right? The World Guide
and Handbook, yes.
Yes.
There is, as of right now, and I just want to Cosmere Nexus.
Not to be confused with Dragonsteel Nexus.
Not to be confused by or the Silverlight Nexus.
Is it really Cosmere Nexus? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's because Demiplane calls all of their worlds Nexi.
Sure. God. Kill me. Not to be confused with the other Nexi on the Rasharan subastral map. Yes, of course. Not to be confused with those. Or the Nexus of Imagination or anything.
So we are going to talk about World Guide and Handbook primarily. As of the time of the recording of this episode, there are a number of small adventures and other e-supplements that are available to people. My understanding is that they are less canonical than even what we have, right? So whereas you can look at Stonewalkers, for example, which is the flagship kind of campaign of the Stormlight setting, and you can assume that almost everything in there is canon except for like things that are that have been changed for like game system reasons. The other e-supplements and especially the other adventures are, I think, held to a lesser standard for continuity. And I've leafed through or I've paged through all of them. There's not like a lot of crazy stuff in there. They mostly seem to extrapolate on kind of what is already revealed or confirmed in kind of the mainline source books of these things. So for example, in Advanced Adversaries, there is a stat block for an Altered One boss. And so if you just have the Stormlight Handbook and World Guide, then I think there's a stat block for an Altered One fused in there. And so Advanced Adversaries builds on top of that. It doesn't like reveal any new spren or abilities or mechanics or anything like that. It's mostly for like
gameplay,
game stuff. Yeah.
That like, hey, if you want a boss, here's a boss.
Yeah. So if you are looking for lore, those are not going to be the places for that. And specifically, the supplements that exist currently are the first step, which is kind of the session 0-ish, build your own character as you make decisions. Bridge 9, which is a small adventure. Stormlight Scenarios, which is a set of, I think, 3 short scenarios that you can play through, like little quests. Advanced Adversaries, which has kind of a higher level, higher tier play enemies, and this includes a stat block for Nightblood. And Speak the Words, which is another kind of a low tier, low level introductory adventure, where I think the objective is to swear a radiant ideal kind of by the end of the adventure.
Nice. But yeah, we will have some sort of episodes with Stonewalkers. I don't know how we'll do that, but I don't know.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, there will be a thing at some point with that. It's a little tricky because it's obviously, not really like a book, like a narrative book, right? So we'll figure out what we want to do with that. We got a bad time before Ghost Floods 1, so we will have an episode on it. Don't worry. I don't know when. There will be more Wind and Truth episodes eventually when some of us reread the book, probably. Because I don't remember what happened in the book. But we still have lots of Emberdark things to do as well. But let's talk about the Stormlight RPG lore. What's kind of the broad stuff we, like we learned? A lot of the stuff was stuff that, we already knew, that was like kind of on the wiki in a beautiful book, which, book's great. But what did we get about new stuff?
So I think the main stuff that we didn't really have any information about in the books, or like they were vaguely mentioned in like 1 or 2 places, is like, the king so-and-so of such and such and nothing else.
Sure.
We got
I love them. They're my favorite characters.
There's some interesting information about sort of filling out post Everstorms, like Oathbringer to Rhythm of War / Wind and Truth, that kind of like era of Roshar where we didn't have any books set in it. And when we do have books set in Rhythm of War, it's like only a few places, like, so places like, the Reshi Isles, like what are they up to, after the Everstor comes through? We don't really know. This sort of gives some tidbits that, you can use to build up, your own, if you want to set a campaign there or something. You have some seeds to build from. So, and then also a lot of random nations from the Azish Empire got filled out.
Yeah, because Stonewalkers goes that way, so that's probably why, right? So they built out locations for that, basically, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's what
I
I
don't know
think.
if they go to these specific nations in the books, but like if you use Stonewalkers as like, well, you are going to sort of Western Roshar, which is just less filled out. This provides some filling out.
Cool.
Speaking of Stonewalkers, there's a lot of Ral Elarim stuff in the World Book and the World Guide and the Handbook.
Nice.
I think some of it may be considered spoilers for Stonewalkers, so we can talk around that.
But we'll see how we do. But
yeah, there's just a lot.
I am of the opinion that if it's in the World Guide, then it's fine. Like, it's not exclusive to Stonewalkers, right? Yes, Stonewalkers does end up in Ral Elarim, and so like some of the World Guide lore is also revealed in the Stonewalkers campaign, but
if you can just read it in the World Guide, then it's like,
yeah.
And then Singer Forms and Radiant Oaths. And I think this is something that we knew before this came out, but the 4th ideal and the 5th ideals, we don't get. The 4th ideals, we get descriptions of what they're about, but we don't really get examples. The only examples of 4th ideals are stuff we get from the books, and then 5th ideals just aren't touched on at all. Sort of for power level reasons. So we only have 2 5th ideals that we know about, both from the books. But for orders like the Stonewards and basically there are several orders that the only information we have about them really is from the rating quiz, which I think the rating quiz, and then those say the words. Like,
oh yeah, the say the
really
words videos. That's right.
Yeah. So this is like a order of magnitude more amount of information about a couple orders than what we previously had. Oh yeah, and then there's also some similar to the Azir and Reshial stuff. There's just random tidbits of Horneater lore, which I'm sure whenever we get the novella Horneater, this may crop up again. But
yeah,
it's just fun world building until then.
Yep,
one can hope.
Cool. So let's get right into Radiant orders. For most of these, we didn't get explicit fourth ideals because I guess the idea is that they're going to be more personal as you go like higher up, right? So this obviously gives players more flexibility to have their Radiant path work with the character development and the story. So I like that, but I mean, it's definitely some new info. So let's maybe get right into it. Although maybe we don't need to talk about Windrunners. I feel like you guys listening on the show, I think we know. It's like, what?
One or two famous Windrunners who've we've had a few.
Really?
What?
A few hundred pages or so.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Who? Yeah. Kaladin, I think. Kaladin.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Anything we want to talk about with Windrunners here? We're just like, no, we're good.
No, I think we're good.
No.
Cool, great.
I think it would have been neat to have maybe because we have such a
have a different one.
Yeah, because we have such a good idea of like the Kaladin style Windrunners, and there really aren't any other Windrunners in the books than Kaladin style because of how they're set up. It would have been interesting to see like a specific, here's someone who like imagine a Windrunner who has never had any contact with Kaladin or his Bridge 4 people, how they might, but at the same time, Kaladin is like, there's a reason he's the first Windrunner because he's archetypal.
It's just that good.
He is not only, he's archetypal and like, even like heralds like Nail and Ishar remark on the fact that he is archetypal. He's like, Windrunners, you are all the same.
It's true. So that's always funny when the heralds do that.
Oh my gosh, here we go again.
How much versatility there is in this order. I'm sure there is some, and it would have been nice to get some, but.
Yeah,
there were a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple of things that stood out to me. Number one, just to comment on the structure of all of these, is that it takes a second to back up and talk about the Spren as well, including the honor Spren culture. So that was fun to run into. The other thing that stood out with the Windrunners is it talks about how they have such a hard time with Skybreakers. And I thought it was a really interesting way to phrase it in here. The ancient Windrunners clash often with the Skybreakers, usually over philosophical differences. The Skybreakers dispense justice according to the exact letter of the law, while the Windrunners were willing to disregard laws and logic when doing what they believed was right. And I mean, this is kind of a thing we know throughout the series, but it was just nice to see it phrased so succinctly.
That's certainly one of the things that is nice with the World Guide is there's so much stuff and yet they need to be so succinct because this could go on for 200 more pages, so we gotta make it tight here,
Yeah.
So like I like the third ideal, of course, like keeping your oaths but recognizing your own flaws. Yeah, I don't know. I Windrunners, they're classic oaths, guys. We know
vanilla, yeah.
Except I keep forgetting, the fifth ideal, but that's still too new.
Self-care, best care.
So, Yes, that's
the ideal.
what it is.
That's
That is the ideal.
That's what Kaladin said.
Yeah, like I do think if or when someone like, I don't know, Lopin reaches the 5th ideal, I don't know, he may not. It'll be interesting to see, because like the idea is, these are really at the higher level of, so really personal, and sort of my mind says, okay, well then they are probably pretty different between any given radiant. But
Yeah.
So I don't know how, if there's going to be any similarities between Kaladin's 5th ideal and some other Windrunners' 5th ideal.
I think, and this is probably not going to be shocking or controversial, but like I think the deeper you go into the oaths, the more personalized they become. So all of them, except for maybe like the weird orders like Lightweavers, are going to start pretty common, and then they're going to get more tailored to your own journey.
Yep. Cool. Well, again, starting extremely strong. Now we have the Skybreakers. We're not going in alphabetical order. We're going in the order on the Knights Radiant table, just as the Almighty intended. And cultivation, probably.
Yeah.
It's not the page order of the book, which I am flipping around.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Well, that was the alternative if we did it the other way, which may have been better. But hey, again, I mean, in Oathbringer, we've known what these ideals were since
we did
Zeth's training, right? Yeah.
But yeah, it does point out that non-nail Skybreakers do things a bit like they interpret the like structure of each oath a bit differently, being as dogmatic and like in the specific way that they are isn't like the only way you can be a Skybreaker. But yeah, we've known like this does confirm that, even if you aren't a follower of nail, you're still doing the same, like following justice in general, following a person, doing a crusade, and then
having some external ideal, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we move on, yeah?
Yeah.
Skybreakers, nothing crazy.
Cool. And now we get to have some new stuff. Let's talk about the Dustbringers. All right. So now we have some actual.
Don't you mean the Nightbringers?
What? Oh, no. That said, Nightbringer would totally be like a Radiant Order name, or like an evil. That could easily just be the enlightened version, right?
Yeah, that's for back half, right?
That would actually be so funny if it was like a corrupted Ashfren and it turns into a Nightbringer. Just for this one. By the way, we're talking about the pun with Dust Brigade being misheard. Yeah. So.
And subsequently renamed to Night Brigade.
Yes. So we've known Dustbringer's philosophy of like, hey, we'll seek self-mastery. And so we got their second ideal: to control my power, I will control myself. Makes sense.
They are very much the order, and we've kind of known this since the Radiant quiz, but they are the order that's about, hey, we have access to some dangerous stuff. We cannot be reckless with it. We have to be careful. We have to control ourselves. We have to understand ourselves and our power in order to not blow things up.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's noted, and I assume that this is going to be sort of like how in the RPG you can sort of fiddle with this, but it says traditionally division is restricted until you swear the second ideal, which is similar to Skybreakers in that they also have division like being gated, but I believe the Skybreakers have it at a different ideal where they gain access to division. Or maybe spread specific or something. I don't remember this.
They definitely got it later.
I think that was Spren specific.
Zeth got his at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Because he swore the 3rd during his fight against the Stone Shaman, the Stonewards Shaman. And then his Spren gave him division, and then he skipped 4 and went straight to 5.
very Skybreakery.
Well, but what wasn't the third with Zeth swearing to follow Dalinar?
Yes, but
So-
he hadn't completed the fourth when he got the picture.
Yeah. So he was at 3. He was at 3 when he got the division.
Correct.
That's what
Didn't
she
get
did.
it. Previously became
He had previously sworn 3 and
and then the
negotiated access to division subsequently.
Yeah. Which I guess is it does sort of mirror how the Dustbringers, because like you need to be like really restricted. You need to be at like the stage where you've accepted like restriction before you're given division. Which is
I thought it was
very in theme.
I thought it was really interesting how this is very leadership coded too, even though it's not brought up in here too much.
Yeah.
Specifically, like there's a little quote in here: "We all bear the capacity for unimaginable damage and destruction. The only way to protect those around us is to always maintain a firm, unshakable control over ourselves." But I guess even more so, like it talks about examine the ways you've seen power abused. What should have been the duties of those holding that power, and how are those duties failed? It's all about.
That's for the fourth.
A lot of it is great power, great responsibility.
Yeah,
I mean, their fourth is about the relationship between power and obligation,
and
which is another way of saying the same thing.
I like that a lot because, the power corrupts, and so having an order about that is very interesting and compelling there. And of course, Spider-Man, it's pretty good. It's pretty archetypical. Spider-Man Dustbringer. Yeah. Well, where's Red?
That's all you need.
That's all you
releases need. Web.
Do you think that's why they have Abrasion? Sorry. I'm sure that is not what the original plan was, but it is very funny.
It's okay. It's too late. It's canon now.
It's canon. It's canon.
It's canon.
Too late.
But it is interesting. I guess we'll get to it eventually I guess the Willshapers will be last, but or second to last. But this idea of like thinking about power in like a societal and structural sense, being part of their order. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be, because you can. I think depending on the Radiant, it would be like some of them would think about power as like political power or something, other than others would think about it as like physical power or something,
or personal power.
Mm-hmm.
Made me think of Skybreakers. I think, and I'm sure this is in these books as well, but thinking back to the quiz and to the Speak the Words series, the way Skybreakers were described had to do with them looking like them being the order that keeps like the people in power in check, right? So they enforce the law, but that law has to be enforceable on like kings and monarchs.
Sure.
And so there's a little bit of overlap with Dustbringers here in the checks on the powerful.
I like that a lot. You can see how a Skybreaker and a Dustbringer could get along really well, whereas like Windrunner and Skybreaker kind of, less so, right? Like I'm sure Skybreakers would appreciate, a Dustbringer, being very controlled and thoughtful with the power they exert, right? So that makes sense to me.
You can probably go like either way with those. And I think you can go either way with Windrunners and Skybreakers as well. Because I can easily see Skybreakers also going, like just being very suspicious of the ability of the Dustbringers to exercise this restraint that is necessary for their very destructive powers.
Sure.
And the fact that it's all like self-mastery. They're not beholden to anything external.
Yes.
Would be,
that's true.
I could see how that would
That's
drive
true. That's a fair point too.
division.
Which makes for good like character stuff, right? It's hey, you can probably take any 2 orders in here. You can get a Radiant from 2 orders and have them, have a positive relationship with one another, or have them have an antagonistic relationship with one another, depending on like how they view their Radianthood.
And I mean, Dustbringer's always been kind of the scary Radiant
The black
Order,
sheep.
right? With Dustbringer too close to Voidbringer. You have red eyes with the glow. That's a little unfortunate here. And with the
Bad
horrible
PR,
destructive
bad
power.
marketing.
Yeah. They're releasers, guys. They're releasers.
Yeah,
Didn't catch
it is. I think some of the sort of vibe that we had based on like the Radiant quiz and that kind of stuff is that there's also sort of like a engineering type idea of like they're interested in taking things apart, which I think can still fit into the archetype that's being described here, but it seems like less of a focus. Which I guess sort of makes sense because there are a lot of like nerd orders. So giving some ideas of how different orders could be different.
Oh, that's a good spot to bring in too. They talk about Dustbringer history. They have a little history section in all of these.
Oh yeah.
So that you can see kind of how things were in the past. And they really bring up engineers, strategists, and they became more and more concerned that they were being used specifically just for their destructive powers. And it's really interesting how that kind of got turned on them.
Sappers and abolitionists are also examples of where their power has fit historically.
Yeah, and with their third ideal, to understand my power, I will understand what power is. I don't know, that does fit really nicely because there's a lot of different ways power can manifest, right? Like if you are, a more engineering-y Dustbringer, what sort of weapons of war would you construct, right? And, you got to be really careful with that. That comes to mind. This honestly feels like a very flexible order in that, like, it can apply to many varieties of people and walks of life, right?
Yeah. And that's always the goal, right?
Yeah.
You want any one of these to like be focused enough so that it feels like it has a purpose and like an identity, but not be just like a stereotype.
Yeah. And we've got two examples of Dustbringers from the books, and they're like as far apart as you could be for two characters.
Right. With Reshi King and like Reshi King's a great example of someone who, like, I mean, he seems like he's doing a good job taking power seriously, right? But very different sort of thing. But I mean, how many of us have had just like managers who are just like, they're just power tripping, right? And it's like, why? What are you doing? Need to be Dustbringers. You got to be careful with the power because it can hurt people. And then, as we were saying, the fourth ideal is about power and obligation, and if you ignore your responsibility, there will be consequences. So it's with great power becomes great responsibility.
It's Uncle Ben.
Legally distinct. Legally distinct.
With great power comes great obligation.
Yeah. Well,
there you go.
We have 3 different sets of Spider-Man movies, so we have plenty to work with here for this ideal. Let's talk about the Edgedancers. And so we already have I'll remember those who've been forgotten, right? They're remembering those who passed away. Did Liv swear her third?
She said it in her heart.
Oh, right, because she's Shardblade, of course. Yeah. And the third was, I'll listen to those who've been ignored. Cool. And so what's our fourth for Edgedancers?
It's saying like, well, you're listening, you're remembering. Now you need to like be more active.
Do something about it.
Yeah,
sure.
It's like basically stop being a stop posting about it on Twitter or whatever and start actually helping your community.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Are you saying changing my profile picture doesn't cause change? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it gets you as far as a shard blade, so I think
it's
that's
pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Taking the focus to RPG building too. I really like how this fits with kind of character growth in an RPG where at first you're just like, I see the person over there. I want to help them.
Yeah.
And then as you get more and more powerful as a character, you level up further and further. You make more connections. It really fits well with the fourth ideal of like, I have connections now. I can actually do something about this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's
Yeah,
fun.
this is very much looking out for the little guy type of
Yep.
order, right?
You could say they're social justice warriors.
You could say that. You could also make the active choice to not say that.
Well, I
You
did.
have the power.
They have shard blades. They're warriors.
Yeah.
We moved on from Dustbringers.
Yeah.
It is kind of annoying that they don't take the opportunity to mention if Lift's being able to like just arbitrarily like understand people who are speaking a different language.
Yeah,
That she does in Edgedancer.
the alleged resonance.
Yeah. They don't really do touch on resonances that much unless they're like attribute already present in the books.
They do
or like
actually
we got
touch on
Wops.
that. They
Oh,
do
really?
touch on that. Though it's kind of it's buried. It's in the role playing with a cultivations or role playing a cultivations friend.
Okay.
And then you can use a focus for each of the spren to do kind of a little something extra where the spren can support. And for the cultivation spren, can help with finding common ground or similarly understanding someone you don't share a culture or language with. Oh no, you're right. This one says that they must still speak at least one language. Oh, okay, yep. Insight tests and lore tests related to topics they're familiar with, though your spren may be able to help in additional ways. So that's more in here connected to the spren.
Cool.
I guess that could be used to explain what happened. Like Turtle had some in a previous life. He was making chairs over in wherever that was. It's
I love Windle's
I forget
chairs.
what the city was, but
Yedal. I think they were in Yedal.
Wait. When was this with Yim?
Edgedancer? No,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
with
no,
him.
they're- yeah,
with,
yeah,
with,
yeah.
with the
Yeah, no.
orphanage.
Yeah. No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Into chic. Cool. I mean, I like this for a fourth ideal for the Edgedancers. Makes a lot of sense to me. I like it. A natural progression.
yeah. I think Edgedancers and Dustbringers have really really good like progression, for lack of a better word, of their
Yeah.
ideals.
Yeah, you guys
like,
didn't like my pun
narratively
there,
works.
so yeah, okay.
and it's a good escalation. Yeah. Whereas I think like Windrunners, it's sort of like a bit jerky in like the direction it goes narratively.
Yeah,
for me at least.
With Windrunners, and I don't know, I think this might sound a little weird, but like I have this image in my head with Windrunners where it is like up front they state there, I will protect, and like that's what they're all about. And then they start adding asterisks
Yeah, modifiers. Yeah.
on top of that. With Edgedancers, it seems more step by step. So like the additional ideals feel less like asterisks to me and more like we are building on top of what we already have.
Sure.
So you would say that the Windrunners are more about making oaths, and the Edgedancers are more about
Cultivating their...
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
I want to know what the pun
I can
was.
see that.
Oh, I just said the word progression. That was a good progression. That was it.
Yeah.
that was the pun. It was
It
not
was a
good.
very good pun.
Was it not good? Okay.
I am interested in, because we haven't seen any fifth ideal, Dustbringers or Edgedancers. I'm interested in whether we can hypothesize what a fifth ideal for either might be. I think that might be an interesting
That's kind of fun.
brief
Okay,
aside.
yeah, no, we should do that. We should do that. Okay, well,
I think
yeah.
I don't have good ideas for Dustbringers, but for Edgedancers, so you start by remembering others, and then you focus on the ones that have been forgotten and ignored, and then you're like, okay, well, I will do something about all the stuff that I've heard. I think a plausible fifth might be something like much like what we saw with Kaladin, where he has to acknowledge that he has to look out for himself before he can look out for others. Edgedancers might need to, or a hypothetical Edgedancer might need to recognize that they cannot help everyone they are a limited resource in and of themselves, and they have to choose their battles, essentially.
I mean, that's a lot of the things with advocacy. You just can't advocate for everything, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just not possible. Like there's lots of
you cannot
issues.
contribute to every cause.
Yeah, you just cannot do that. So yeah, focusing on a few. I like that. I could buy that for sure. Yeah.
I almost want to continue on the theme of progression here.
Okay.
And I'm kind of jumping into Willshaper ideals a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a sort of
Is that what you're
problem
thinking too?
with like Edgedancers and Willshapers. They have a lot of they can have a lot of overlap.
Because here there's speaking for people, making sure people's voice is heard.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a step further where you can make sure that people are able to speak for themselves?
Sure.
And that continues the theme of kind of progression there.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's also an interesting.
Sure, because you don't want like your awesome power knight to be like it's very useful to have an advocate, but you need that group to advocate for themselves as well, right? And have their own voices and leaders, right?
And specifically be able to advocate.
And be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This does feel more Willshapery to me.
Yeah, it matches along with the Willshaper ideals more. But it's also a continued progression, so it's kind of
What about Dustbringers? What can we analyze from various Spider-Man movies here about what a fifth ideal could be here? But the problem is sometimes those later Spider-Man movies might not be useful.
So I'll seek self-mastery, self-control, so you can control the power, understand the power, so you can control it better. Power comes with obligation. So we're dancing around power and understanding and obligation.
I could see there being something like, as you've progressed in these ideals, you've become like less and less willing to use the power. And
giving up power is also kind of the direction I was thinking of.
So I have a thought, but I don't want to.
No, yeah, I was just sort of thinking of like the direction. It's all about power, and it's like how power, like you're sort of, I guess, before you swear the second ideal, you nominally have power without much restraint, and then you're restraining it and understanding you still need to be able to use it, or that using it comes with responsibilities, and then.
What's your idea, Bonnie? I have an idea as well.
I'm debating whether I think this is a good idea ideal wise, but in terms of narratively, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Is if you take it's limiting, and then the final ideal is being able to use that power, is recognizing when it is appropriate to use this.
That's somewhat similar to my idea, because like as I read this, the adage of absolute power corrupts absolutely. Like I was almost thinking like a fifth ideal, like yes, power is corrosive type thing, and just like accepting that like it just is, and sometimes you need to use it anyway. Type vibe. There's definitely some interesting directions you can go. Obviously, there's plenty of books talking about, how to use power, right? This is classic stuff, especially with, like mages and wizards, right? Like they have this godlike power sometimes. How do we use it? And like the fifth ideal can be very personal. So, it could be all of these things. Right?
Yeah, for sure. And the goal of the exercise is to come up with like a plausible hypothetical member of each order, not to like distill all of the ones that don't even exist yet into something.
Which we totally all prepped all of these. We're definitely not thinking these on the fly. Cool. So we go on to Truthwatchers.
Yep. Truthy boys.
Yeah, that's true. So their second ideal, I will seek truth wherever it is hidden. Sure, that makes sense, right?
That's what Truthwatchers would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a narrowing of the philosophy, right?
I think it's more of like an expanding, maybe, or like a redirecting, because you're seeking truth and then you're clarifying, even if it's hidden, I'll seek it.
I don't know. This gives strong. This feels very reminiscent of like second ideal Windrunners. It's like,
yeah,
right.
I feel that.
So I like that a lot. Makes a lot of sense. I don't have many notes on that. That was like, yeah, that checks out.
It does note that even if you fail to find truths, it still is like good because you're trying to find them.
It's the pursuit. It's the journey that matters.
Yeah, the seeking. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. What's our third ideal here?
Number 3. So we have sought the hidden truth, and now we will reveal truth to all who seek it.
Sure.
We found the hidden secrets, and now we're going to reveal them to the world and dox the people who had those secrets. Shame on them.
I am glad this says that, yeah, we don't need to share the secrets with everyone. So yeah, maybe not doxing. So that's good. But
maybe, yeah.
I think that this is sort of maybe the biggest like change in terms of like general how they're what they think and how they operate versus what like our previous assumptions were based on like ancillary like rating quiz. Although in this case, there's also some information from the in-world Words of Radiance. It talks about how they were esoteric in nature, and the order was, the quote is, their order being formed entirely of those who never spoke or wrote of what they did. And so, I mean, obviously there's room for saying, well, this is an in-world source that's just, wrong.
Yeah.
But it does, I do feel like the sort of general, like, fan-in interpretation of Truthwatchers was that they were more secretive, like they were finding truths and then they were being selective about how the truths were disseminated through like the public or whatever.
Well, I think there's room for like they're revealing these things, but they're not talking about like how they acquire these secrets or the magical things that they do necessarily, right?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what this is saying, right? This is the idea is you seek the truth and then you kind of try to do good with that truth or about that truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you are not publicizing it necessarily. You are reaching out potentially in secret, and you go, "Hey, I found out, about this secret of yours. Let's work together to make it so you don't have to keep the secret anymore, or you can improve your situation, or whatever, right?" I'm thinking like Adolin's assassination of Sadius, and how Renarin seemed aware that something is up with his brother. I think a different version of Renarin could have like approached Adolin and gone, "Hey, I know what you did. I know why you did it. It's okay. Let's do something about it. Let's find out whether this was the correct thing to do. And if it was, then great. You don't have to beat yourself over it. We can, we can find a good path forward."
I really like the theme that's developing too, of how, you have like half the orders grow on their oaths. So it's kind of an extension. And the other half is you have the original oath, which is very broad, and then it gets more and more limiting. So I think that some interesting theming with the structure.
Yep. And we should mention the fourth, because it's relevant to talking about the order as a whole, which is acknowledging the likely consequences of sharing well-kept secrets and knowledge forbidden by the powerful.
Sure.
And then sharing the truths despite those risks is part of the fourth as well. Although I think the risks that it talks about are more risks to yourself.
more
rather than
personal.
necessarily. Yeah.
So maybe 5th could be something like maybe there are some secrets that we should keep. Maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think that feels very feasible.
And like just determining, okay, which things should be revealed or not, and like,
or some truths that are not worth pursuing because of the risk that exposing them might come with.
Mhm.
Yeah. That feels good. That feels right to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we talked about the Truthy Boys.
Boys.
It is only fitting that we talk about the liars.
The
Liars.
The ligers.
The ligers. Yes.
The gals.
Ligals. There we go. Good. We did it, guys. Yes.
The Lightweavers.
And so we kind of know what's going on with the Lightweavers. They have very personal, like, truths, right?
They're very like inward directed self-exploration of like their own truth.
Yeah.
So almost said Truthweavers. Truthwatchers look out into the world and they seek truth out there. Lightweavers are the pull to their push, the internal to their external. They look inward and look for the truth there and confront it.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense given their powers, right? Externally, lying all the time, but you got to know yourself really well, right, to do that. So like that makes sense to me.
I do think that it's almost certainly just a consequence of the fact that as a rule, they're not doing 5th ideal stuff, but I do wonder if there could be any difference to the 5th ideal of a Lightweaver or the 5th ideal of an Elsecaller for that matter, compared to their 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I feel like there wouldn't be, except it would need to be like a greater magnitude maybe of like a bigger lie you tell yourself, although that may not even be required, that it'd be a bigger lie.
I think my favorite part of this section, unrelated to the actual ideals, but just talking about the order of, where was that in here? In the history section for ancient Lightweavers. Many took it on themselves to maintain the morale of other Radiants, creating performances, visual art, and other works of beauty.
Sure.
Other Lightweavers traveled to Ashar, visiting the towns most affected by the desolations and working with the other orders to rebuild homes. They often recreated damaged cultural works or left new pieces of their own creation, dedicated to offering beauty and art in the lives of those who most needed it. I just really enjoyed that perspective as compared to just the spy's perspective.
Yeah, because, acting's lying, right? But like, it's fun. Hey, that can be very useful in times that are tough to have a work of entertainment to distract you, right? And I remember in the in-world Words of Radiance that like the Lightweavers were said to supply like spiritual sustenance. So that kind of goes along with that. Yeah, I like that a lot. Makes sense that they could create such art and things. Where's our stand-up comedian Lightweavers, guys?
Probably. Oh, one thing I think I wanted to mention, but basically it's sort of a not like we didn't really get anything about enlightened radiance in terms of like how exactly they're different. Like we got a little bit mentioned about enlightened Truthwatchers, but nothing to write home about.
I'm shocked that Brandon didn't want to just put that in a world book. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shocking to me.
And that's I think we may have mentioned this in the previous episode. Certainly it is something that has come up in conversations, and it's the idea of the RPG has to ride this fine line between you cannot put too much new information because then the core Cosmere audience, which enjoys the stories, is going to feel compelled to purchase games they potentially don't care about if they want to learn all these like cool and new things.
Sure.
But you cannot not put any new information because then what are you buying? Just an art book and a game system, which is, okay, but that's not as interesting. So
sure. Yeah. But anyway, Lightweavers, not much to talk about because they have the personal things. Mhm.
One other thing
There's
that each order like section has is a section about like naming your cryptic or naming your spren. And so the cryptic one has some. One that stood out to me is you could name your cryptic Integral. Which
okay.
Yeah, which I felt.
I want to hear.
Yeah, we what's your take on this?
Yeah,
that just feels like we're just putting math terms just because. Like that. That's just what that feels like to me.
How about factorial? Is another.
But we kind of are though.
Yeah,
that's kind of their whole shtick.
Yeah, I guess. Like you will run out of synonyms for pattern or sequence and things, right? Like you just will.
It also means that radical is a valid cryptic name,
which is not only valid, it's also a great cryptic name.
No, that's.
Do we have a sequence?
No. Well, I mean, not in
this book.
Not in this book.
Because now I'm imagining someone has their cryptic name Sequence, except because they're a Lightweaver, they call them Sequins.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yes,
I thought you were going to go for like they're a member of the set with that rank, and then their spread.
Oh, we could have a cryptic name set.
Yeah.
We could have a cryptic name set, and we could have a descendant of set, Bond set, and have a lot of fun with that. I'm sure.
I think I'm just gonna need to live with that. I don't love how Brandon does math spren. I'll just be totally honest, and
we don't need to spend time on this.
Yeah.
Because there are other things that we could be spending time on, which is Elsecallers.
Elsecallers.
Oh, hold on. There's a fun little bit about cryptics in here first.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Before we run up, there was a fun one. Some spren generally distrust cryptics, but they trust their decision making so completely that when the cryptics were some of the first spren to begin bonding humans again in the modern era, the cultivation spren and several other spren cultures quickly followed suit. I just thought that was a really interesting bit of spren culture. It's like, oh, the cryptics are doing it, now we should do it too. Like if they're gonna do it, then we might as well.
Yeah, if they have calculated that this is the correct course of action,
that's like, oh, okay. So let's talk about Elsecallers. This one, like Lightweavers, we don't get like specific ideals. They talk with their inspren about how to improve themselves, and then they set out to achieve those goals.
Yeah. So much like how Lightweavers look inwards and uncover truths about themselves, Elsecallers look inward and do a promotion plan. With their manager.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yes. I don't know. Part of me, I was like, I would have loved some, specific ideals, right? But like this does make sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense.
They do give a few examples.
Yeah.
So one of them is, I will follow the path I set for myself, not the path others expect me to take.
Sure. Okay. That's fun.
One is, I will cast light on my past missteps, so I make only new ones.
Oh, that's fun. I like that a lot. Yeah. Okay.
And then I will leave behind what is comfortable in search of untamed greatness. Yeah. So basically, you say that, and then your spren judges if you do that or not. And if you do, then you advance.
It's certainly interesting given Yasna, right? So this does allow Yasna's ideals, so to speak, to be interesting things that we can discover how that went a lot later, right? Rather than being specific things.
Yeah.
We can have a scene with her or a flashback with her where we discover about a misstep that she had made, or a time of her life when she had fallen into comfort and foregone opportunities to improve herself. And then we can see how she got past those.
Yeah, I could see her having a flashback dedicated to each oath that she took, or ideal that she took. it does. I would be remiss if I didn't mention how there's that one line from Ivory, where he is complimenting her for not changing, and then we later learn that Elsecallers are really all about improving themselves and changing. So
Yeah, but he's talking about like emotions, right?
Yeah.
He is complimenting her on being stoic and unmoving in that regard.
That just makes me think Yasna really needs like a night out with the girls with a giant tub of chocolate ice cream.
I thought you were gonna say therapy, but that too.
I mean, therapy too. I mean, yeah. Yes.
Look, chocolate ice cream, Princess Bride, just the whole shtick.
Look, as soon as Rashar's premier therapist comes back from vacation.
That's right. Oh, I'm sure Yasna will love that.
Oh boy.
I'm sure that'll go great.
I can sense the Kalazna shippers.
To be fair, I do find that dynamic interesting. As far as character dynamics in Brandon Works, it's pretty good. Cool. Anything else with Elsecallers? I like having those examples. Those are fun. But
So there's a fun bit from the Inkspren culture.
oh yeah.
Some rumors tell of rare cases where Inkspren killed Radiants traveling through Shadesmar, believing that this murder would save the bonded Spren's life. Speaking about the bonded Spren.
My God.
However,
Jeez.
the dead eyes. However, Inkspren are too cautious to act on their emotions or make spur of the moment decisions. I love this. So if such murders indeed occurred, they were meticulously planned.
Oh,
I love how it backs up there.
I
It's
like
like,
that.
nah, they're too cautious for that. No, but if they actually do it, they would have planned it out. Like, I love
Look,
the backup. And
it
then
does.
no, right
It
back in
will
your face.
happen. It will just be carefully crafted here.
Exactly. I love the fake out there where you're like, oh, good, just a rumor. Oh, no, not a rumor.
You know, I
Just
think that
double
fits
down.
Yasna very well. You know, I
it
think
is
that,
funny
yeah.
that like one of the most malevolent Spren are the ones who are lawyers in Shadesmar.
Hey, you know what? And if a lawyer is going to assassinate someone, they're going to be meticulous. That's just a
That's true.
fact.
Look,
Not
I-
legal
I-
advice, but I'm just saying.
I think that is a reasonable, like, if you want to get away with murder, you probably should not be sloppy about it.
I mean, hashtag not legal advice, guys.
We're
We're not lawyers.
Don't add us.
I will reach my potential.
I'll become the best assassin there ever was.
Hey,
Oh God!
that's
Now I'm
probably
just like thinking
valid.
Ash Ketchum as an Elsecaller. It's good.
Terrible.
That's good. I like
Elsecaller
that.
mystery.
Yeah.
Inkspren names
Okay, what do we got for
Uh,
Inkspren names?
often evoke colors and liquids,
Sure.
such as drip, ebony, fluid, graphite, indigo, obsidian, pigment, sepia, solute, and viscosity.
Interesting.
Some good ones in there.
Okay.
Pigment is a great name.
Pigment's
Pigment
good.
is a great name. Viscosity is a fun one. Obsidian is just, and indigo are
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
classic.
Indigo is a good one. Yeah.
Indigo is like such a good color name. Not enough. We don't get enough love for indigo, guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's move on to Willshapers. We get some actual ideals. We love that. They're the I'll seek freedom guys. And so the second ideal, I'll seek freedom for those in bondage. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
make for good dungeon masters.
And it notes that it doesn't need to be literal bondage. It can be they also say that stuff like giving people the tools or training to make their own way, or helping a companion feel freedom to express their true identity. So it can be like a metaphorical bondage. As well.
Like more oppression than
Sure.
Yeah.
Brennan Lee Mulligan will love that he can have people be Willshapers and they can fight against capitalism. Don't worry.
that is valid. You can do that.
Absolutely could. Cool. What's our third ideal?
Yeah. So second is about seeking those already in bondage. Third is about fighting the power that is bonding them, that is oppressing them. I will fight oppression.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically it's like I will fight. It's sort of like I will fight oppression, and then even if blank blank blank, like basically in the opposition of something, I assume that would be specific to your radiant.
Sure.
Which is kind of the the Windrunner stipulation.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
They give the example too, even against the tyranny of the leaders I serve.
Yeah, that sounds like very Willshaper. There's good interplay with Willshaper and Dustbringer as well, right? Whereas like Dustbringer is more like they will become the powerful, and Willshaper's like fighting the powerful in a sense.
Skybreakers also play in that same playground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Willshapers have like a lot of. I think part of it is because they're sort of like inherently countercultural.
Sure.
Like you can sort of put them, you can slot them into any culture, and they will do something interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas sort of like Lightweavers can also do basically anything, but it's more like individual and but Willshapers have like a lot of interplay with basically any environment you put them in.
Yeah. Cool. What do we got for the fourth for these guys?
Their fourth is sort of similar to what we talked about for what the Edgedancer and Edgedancer fifth could be, but it's basically saying that moving from helping people who are being oppressed to trying to stop the system that is oppressing. And so it's specifically like it's sort of gamey, but it's designed for people playing the game. But it says you would look at people you have helped over the course of getting your other ideals and try and figure out, did you actually help them like totally like reach freedom or just momentarily? And then when you left, things went back to the way they were.
Did they replace one oppressor with another or something like that?
I was immediately thinking like Mistborn Final Empire vibes, right? It's like, well, I mean, we did kill that guy, but you know, that didn't necessarily solve the problem, right? Hard to think what a fifth would be for Willshapers.
Yeah, because the fourth is already pretty like endgamey.
Comprehensive,
Yeah.
Maybe something about like empowering others to pass on the mission, essentially, right? So you're not only freeing people, you are also enabling them to continue freeing even more people.
Or making them Willshaper squires, you know, either way.
Effectively.
You know,
basically, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Like, yeah.
No, I agree with that.
I think it would need to be something that's really situation specific, I feel like.
Well, let's talk about the stone. No, wait, let's talk about whatever piece of trivia Bonnie has for us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun trivia in here.
No, please.
Right.
That is excellent that you are.
Yeah, you're looking in the book rather than me just like looking at Adam's outline. So like I appreciate that.
I literally have it right here. So Reachers are characterized by their love of travel and adventure.
Sure.
While they can speak humanoid languages, Lightspren have a greater alignment to the rhythms of Roshar than other Spren, and they prefer to communicate via rhythmic pulses. Anyone can understand this form of speech with enough exposure, but it's especially intuitive to singers who are also attuned to the rhythms.
Yep.
And then the floor and decks, so skipping a little bit, the floor and decks on which Reachers work on ships are typically strewn with sound-conducting copper lines. The Lightspren walk on these lines with the bare feet, allowing near instantaneous vibrational communication with each other. Which I think, did we know about that already?
We knew that they communicated through metal.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we knew it was copper. We may have. But we knew that, like when Kaladin and company were on the Reacher ship, there was a comment about how the sailors would often, like, there were these metal inlets in the ship, and like they would walk and like constantly touch the metal.
It's interesting that it's called out as sound based. I don't think we knew that before. In my head, I always thought it was like electricity or something, like they were conducting or whatever. But yeah, I guess sound makes sense.
Sound makes sense. Vibrations make sense. Rhythmic / tonal communication makes sense. Copper is, of course, always interesting because copper clouds. I almost Well, copper mines to an extent, yeah. I almost wonder if this should have been bronze. That feels more, because copper is the
Heidi.
the muting metal, and bronze is the sensing metal. But I think this is fine.
Yeah.
I think copper also has like a function in Fabrial construction that has to do with like conducting energy or something like that.
I could find it.
It allows them to conduct energy or transmit thoughts.
Oh, there you go.
So, exactly. Yeah.
Sure,
Exactly.
sure. Yeah, that has some copper mindy vibes.
The spiritual integrity of copper. Is that all you had for us, Bonnie?
That is it for that one. Thank you, though.
Cool.
Great. Let's talk about some jocks.
Stonewards.
Stonewards. They will be there when they're needed.
Love it.
They are the all reliables. They're obviously the first ideal is the same one as everyone's. The second ideal is something along the lines of I will step forward when others fall back.
Sure.
Which is yeah.
Is this the one that was changed from what it was in
the
quiz or something? I think it was like I will stand where others fall or something, and they changed it so that it was more. I thought I remembered seeing that somewhere in a like an interview.
Certainly there's not a specific one in the Radiant quiz. They just have the philosophy, not a specific ideal.
Oh, okay. I'm maybe thinking of something else then.
No, I will stand where others fall. Sounds like I will stand.
I like that.
Our Cosmere.
Oh, so they changed it from no, never mind.
Okay, well, whatever. I think they may have rephrased that slightly. So it's I guess this phrasing is more about taking initiative as opposed to being like resilient, which is so makes it more active essentially, right?
Oh, I found what you're thinking of. It's that someone in a Words of Radiance signing asked for a Stoneward ideal, and Brandon said they're still rough, so this might not be the exact wording. So that's fine. And then and it was I will stand where others fall.
Okay. Cool.
So like that's fine. It's in a book over 10 years ago. I think that's fine.
It's the idea of resisting pressure and challenge and overcoming it and stuff like that. And then the third builds on top of that by saying I will be the foundation on which others can build. So this is no longer kind of a personal resilience and personal endurance. It is spreading that around, right? Giving others the opportunity to step forward when others fall, right? Foundation is a good word in this. And it also kind of enforces or reinforces the idea that you are not meant to be kind of the singular point of defense. You are part of the big picture. And so part of your responsibility, yes, there is personal responsibility. There's also the kind of communal responsibility of, yes, I will be as strong as I can, but I will also make others as strong as they can.
Yeah. Which evokes their powers of like strengthening things, shaping things into like a, useful.
The one piece in the wall.
Yeah.
Ironically, not what Pawn has been doing for the past 5 millennia.
Look, he's so big, you can build a building off of him, all right? You could.
He is the
He's a
entire
big guy.
wall. He is not. He's a brick so
wall.
big.
Storm
Yeah.
wall.
He has, in a way, been the foundation on which others can build, though.
It's
He's
true.
held
It
back
is true.
things for a long time.
It's true.
That is yes.
Society
It's
would
true.
not be where it was without him.
You are very correct, and I hate the fact that you have ruined my joke.
Well,
sorry.
Your facts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Never let facts get in the way of a good joke.
No, I did not until I was corrected.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then their fourth is a little bit like the Windrunner fifth, which is that it's impossible to consistently help others if you don't care for yourself.
Sure.
Right? Self-care, best care. Don't sacrifice yourself. Don't martyr yourself. You know.
Mhm.
Basically, don't do exactly what Talon's been doing for the past.
Yes.
Every desolation.
the modern Stonewards, they're like, yeah, okay, Talon's pretty great, but
he is an exception. Okay,
yeah, you can't do that.
The statistics.
Like
Yeah.
most people shouldn't do that. Fifth ideals. This is another tough one in my opinion.
This doesn't feel right to me, but I'll throw it out there maybe as a conversation starter. There is something to the idea that sometimes it is okay to let something fall so that you can build something better anew.
Sure. Okay.
Kind of recognizing lost causes, recognizing when the foundation itself is bad and you have to start fresh.
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
that being like a clash with Stoneward or with Stonewards and Willshapers. Like
Where
trying to build on
Willshapers
top of,
always
like,
want to,
building on a rotting foundation. I can see
Interesting.
that.
That's very thematically appropriate.
It is made tough, as you said. Their fourth is basically what Kaladin's versus his fifth. So
I mean,
So, you know.
sometimes some of these ideals do boil down to self-care, best care.
So,
Yeah.
the warrior radiance, what can you do? the nerd radiance, what can you do? There's some similar vibes here.
Mhm.
Look, the cool thing is these orders all do still feel distinct despite overlap, and I do like that. That's, I think, challenging to do with 10 of these orders, in my opinion.
Many different ways to climb a mountain.
That is true. What is your Stoneward bit of trivia for us, Bonnie?
Well, speaking of climbing mountains, there's peak spread.
It is interesting that the peak spread are very like Unkalaki coded.
Yeah, because not Unkalaki are only in a specific set of peaks, and so I don't know. I could see it being like maybe peak spread that aren't from the area of Shadesmar near the Hornator peaks are not Unkalaki.
Yeah, there was something about
Different.
the ship captain that took like the Rhythm of War expedition away from Eurytheru. He was talking about some like tribe of peak spren from far away, I think.
Yeah.
Peak spread
Okay.
culture isn't centralized, and several different tribes live throughout Shadesmar. Unlike the monolithic tendencies of other spren cultures, peak spren tribes have a great variety in their opinions and cultural values, and there's quite a bit of rivalry between them. Some tribes find joy in the Radiant's return, while others remain bitter about the Recreants.
Okay.
So,
That's kind of just interesting because, like, Stonewards are the frontline Radiants, right, in battle mostly. So
The heavy infantry is how Brandon has described them before.
it feels like you would necessarily need a lot of them, right, to make these desolations work.
Yeah.
And so I think it makes sense that you'd have a lot of different peak spren, I can imagine that can cause some conflict as to, objectives, which is kind of interesting, right?
I
speaking
think it's
of,
like the Shin Mount, what is it? The Misty Mountains.
Misted Mountains,
out-
I think.
Misted.
Different
Yeah,
property.
Yes.
It'd be fun
Legally
if the Misty
distinct.
Mountain peak spread were some of the ones that were more opposed to the Radiance returning versus the ones who hang out near the Horn-Eaters are more open to it, and that's why we see them. Maybe, I don't know. We've only seen, I think, like one bonded peak spread, so hard to draw conclusions.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's one in Stonewalkers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
interestingly too, speaking of them as frontline warriors, peak spread tend to be pacifistic. Though they remain non-judgmental if their bonded Radiant disagrees. They avoid violence unless absolutely necessary, and they place a much higher value on providing and caring for family than on martial prowess.
That's an interesting interplay.
Being there when you're needed doesn't have to mean combat, right? It
Sure.
can mean being a good dad.
Yeah. So it's that sort of theming, right? Kind of in the background. Okay, yeah. That's interesting.
This is only tangentially relevant to the episode, but I will remind everyone that there's a peak spren in Silverlight working for Zysis.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Obviously, someone who was picked up by Melan in the end of Lost Metal.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine Spren. It's interesting to consider the fact that Spren may have gotten around the Cosmere, and 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, we can be on some random ass Cosmere world, and there's just like a Spren there.
Yeah. I mean, I do wonder how the Spren who leave after Wind and Truth, because I guess none of them will have the High Storm replenishing their like energies, whatever that actually means. So
but they can survive.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I guess all Spren would be a bit low energy after Wind and Truth.
Maybe. Lost Metal tells us about like investiture fields in which Aethers are stable, so that can be a way for Spren to get their energy. Anyway, we've moved on from being barely tangential to being completely unrelated.
Very good.
That's the fun stuff, though.
Let's move on to Bondsmiths, though I think there's very little Bondsmith stuff here, right?
Yeah, they give us the philosophy, which is I will unite, and then the second ideal is I will unite instead of divide, bring people together.
Sure. Which we knew.
And then third is I will take responsibility for what I've done. If I fall, I will rise each time a better person. I think both of those are word for word Dalinar oaths.
Yep, they are.
I think Dalinar may have said better man, but yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. That's the easiest sort of ideal customization. That's fine.
Yes.
And then their fourth is described as requiring recognition that all life is precious. Every person has their own life, and people who care for them, and they will leave a hole where they are gone. And that's not true just for the people in the Bondsmith service, but also for the enemy they're fighting. And so basically it's about not letting your enemy become faceless. It would be interesting if this is something that the Blackthorn has to grab, like, ever approaches some
that could be
having
fun.
some revelation about this.
Wild.
As things stand, I imagine that we'll see this eventually in the back half with Navani or something, but it's definitely something that I don't know. I feel like maybe Dalinar could have done this in the intervening
Did he not?
between. I don't think he did, but
he didn't swear any other ideals.
He didn't swear the ideal, but I think he kept to it anyway.
Yeah.
Fun bit of irrelevant trivia.
Great.
Bondsmiths are the only order in the RPG Handbook that have no dedicated illustrations, except for the banner. So there's no illustration of their Spren. There's no illustration of like an example member of their order.
They're the weird guys.
They are weird.
Yep, they're also the only ones who are out of alphabetical order.
That is also true. Yeah,
they're at the very end.
Yeah, because were they saying that like maybe a supplement, but maybe not? I don't know.
I expect that is 100% up to Brandon.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Cool. We got through the ideals. That's kind of most of the stuff we wanted to talk about. There's some other odds and ends. We did get new singer forms stuff, but a lot of this is very much stuff that we know. So I don't know if there's anything interesting per se. Like we know a lot of the particular Spren for these forms. Cool.
Yeah, we got a few Spren names for the Odium forms of power. And I think a really like a short description of what they do, which for most of them was pretty like dire form. They're just big and have spikes.
Yeah.
But for a couple of them, they sort of answered some long-standing questions, which is nice.
How so?
We got the decay form. What they do is they sap the vitality from other things. Because I think the question was sort of like, well, how would they be different from like a division fused?
Sure.
They're not like breaking down material; they're just sapping your like life essence
Sure.
through touch. And then
Sure.
night form, we kind of confirm that they have future sight, and then it's
Yeah.
their future sight is imperfect, which is like how you nerf the fact that otherwise you would have a bunch of ATM users on one side.
And it's also the Cosmere, so that's necessarily the case. but-
All future sight is imperfect in the Cosmere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the decay form have Blight Spren. That's a good Spren name. That's a good
Yeah.
Odium Spren name for sure.
We did get a lot of like the Odium equivalent of Odium rhythms to Roshar rhythms mapping.
Cool.
So like amusement maps to ridicule, anticipation maps to craving, anxiety to agony, stuff like that. Interestingly, there is I don't know if I knew that, but there's a rhythm of power known as the rhythm of relief, which is kind of the equivalent of rhythm of hope.
Kind of interesting.
Because a lot of the others are, they do feel more violent and aggressive, right? Command instead of appreciation, indifference instead of despair. But then relief is, a little less bad.
Well, I guess it's like there's lots of different passions, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And so like I think that's kind of what that's going for. That just like feeling that like powerful sense of relief, right? So what else do we want to talk about?
I have to shout out once again all of the great singer art in these books. Absolute top tier spren. I don't know why.
Top tier
Spren in
spread.
there.
Top tier.
Because I'm
Top
looking
tier
at the
spread in those
spren.
gem hearts.
I'm looking at the spren for all of the forms.
Cool.
Nothing else stands out in terms of like singer stuff.
Yeah, so we got some place stuff.
Yeah, generally they listed a few facts about most places that we've had named in the books. That some of them are just facts reiterating stuff that we had from the books. Other stuff is a bit more, a lot of new stuff. Specifically, let's see.
Can I just point out first, though, that they did a really good job going into this. It was a lot of fun to read through these.
Yeah, I'd say.
And there were some points where I'm like, that was a tiny little detail in a corner somewhere, and it made it into here. Like, they really did a great job with this.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff here.
I like how there's the Inazir, the Molly. They have a medium-sized great shell. That's fun. And then
they did invent a few beasties for the RPG.
that's fine. And then Asia's sign language spread to the other nations in the empire. How nice. We love that.
The reason being that it's a very clear and concise sign language.
Nice.
Efficient.
But yeah, there's generally like one of the themes of as Azir is that they have some different nations have different like opinions on who which herald is like top dog. Generally
sure.
either Town or either Ishar or Jezrien.
Sure.
But there are a few that seem to be a bit different. There's that one place that thinks that Kalak is the Stormfather.
Sure, right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Natanatan?
Yeah. The one I was thinking of was there's a place where Vettel is like the prime herald. It's a place called Desh, which
sure.
I feel like has been mentioned like 5 times in total in the series.
I
think
feel like maybe even less.
That is twice as many as what I would have estimated.
It's mentioned once in Edgedancer.
Nice. Okay.
And then once in Oathbringer, and then once in Wit of Truth. So
that seems like a really important nation here.
Yeah, and every time it's mentioned, it's always like alongside other random
in a list of
in a list. Yeah. We love that.
Yeah, but it's got like a surprising amount of basically they worship Vettel and they believe that like they have this strong warrior culture where the warriors have to ultimately like every soldier is serving Vettel. So they can follow orders given to them by their generals, but they have to like all of them have to like well, what would Vettel do, basically?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
That's an
And,
interesting
it's sort of like-
juxtaposition of Vettel being the healer,
Mm.
but they are a warrior culture.
And apparently, Azir sort of treats the nation as a place to send retired generals. So their like ruling council is mostly made up of retired Azish generals.
Okay. Cool.
And it's also noted that apparently their ambassadors are mostly spies rather than diplomats. And it's supposedly loyal to Azir, but apparently they are part of being like loyal to Azir is they have to, like, if the emperor asks, they have to cede control of their soldiers and legions. But apparently they are noted as not always doing that when asked.
Sure.
Let's see.
Sure.
It says that children and anyone who is unable to fight are treated with high respect and have like a special cultural status called Talga.
That's fun.
Let's see.
I love irrelevant lore like this. That's fun.
And apparently, a significant part of their economy is mining sandstone, which is used to make the glass in spheres.
Whoa. Sphere lore. Sphere lore.
And basically, if you're an adult who has the spirit of guardians, then you're conscripted. Otherwise, you are allowed to do other stuff. So basically, it seems like a lot of people will end up as soldiers, but then it's sort of like entering like almost worship of Vettel. So I don't know. I doubt that this will ever show up in the books, but it's like a lot of lore for something that is like literally two mentions in the main books.
Love that.
Well,
Let's see.
Eric, when we get the beta for Stormlight 9,
Sure.
we should be on the lookout for potentially contradictory Desh lore.
Oh, all this stuff it's gonna be a totally different map, and none of this is gonna matter in the back half.
Does Desh even exist anymore?
No.
Yeah.
The land's gonna
speaking
change.
of,
It's not gonna matter.
Speaking of post Everstorm nonsense, the other random Azish nation that got a lot of lore that also has like two mentions in the main books is Ulm.
We love Ulm. We've said it for years. We love Ulm.
It's noted as basically saying very few people, few exports, no major cities. We don't really, no one outside really knows what's going on.
Okay.
It's just
There's no one there. They do nothing.
Yeah. And apparently it's like as close to Shin ecology as you can get east of the Misted Mountains.
Sure, it's like it's like right there, like southeast of Shinovar. That makes sense. Wow, very
so apparently
small.
some of their few exports are like Shin-ish fruits and stuff.
Shin-ish.
that can grow in Ulm. But the major thing is apparently the Azish Empire, as sort of a rule, they allocate out Parsh slaves to every nation. And apparently all the Parsh slaves that get sent to Ulm are secretly freed by the Ulmish, whatever. They're treated well, and they're given cottages to live in or allowed to roam as they please. And so
fun.
After the Everstorm happens, it becomes a significant hub for non-aligned singers. So singers who, like, after they regain their faculties, ones who are not aligned with Odium but aren't like listeners, a lot of them gravitate towards Ulm. I think that this has more potential to potentially, like, if Brandon even knows that this is written, I could see this being incorporated into the back half as like there's a substantial population of singers who are not Odium aligned who are in the like bubble of the non-Everstorm area.
Non-listener, non-singer empire singers.
Yeah.
There's an interesting bit too. When someone experiences a major life event, such as coming of age, marriage, or the death of a loved one, it's customary to travel to the river in the southeast to feel the transitory nature of life, then travel to the mountains in the west to feel a sense of permanence.
Well, it's a small place, so that doesn't seem like that's going to take that long.
So
really.
it's 2 hours this way, 4 hours the other way.
Well, it's probably a bit more than that, but due to scale of all of this, but still.
If I had a bone to pick with this, there's no mention of Sunday pancakes. The Sunday cakes.
Oh, is that something that Lift mentions about Is that one of the Elm's like only mentions in the?
Not for Ulm, but for
Okay.
Yida.
for
the
the
Sheik.
Azish Empire.
I'm sure that was most important on the writer's and Brotherwise's mind here.
It
Nice.
should be.
Another random thing I noticed is apparently in Tukar, it's considered it's very like rude to hide your emotions. So I just noted that Moash would be disliked there.
Hmm.
Uh,
Interesting.
That's
But I
that's probably
imagine that
some
it's
like
some
holdover
passion
from
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
from passion thing from
Yeah,
Moria
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Which is very
Um,
interesting how it worked out with the Tukari now, which are
With Ishar.
yeah.
But it was interesting to me that because they are Makabak, so it's interesting that they're Makabak places that are like worship heralds, different heralds maybe, but they all worship heralds, and then there's some that have sort of a more passion leaning.
I mean, it's all over the place, right?
It's also interesting to and maybe this is stretching a bit, but like to contextualize the different states of the Makabaki Empire, like believe differently about different like worship different heralds in different capacity. It's interesting to like think back to like the arrival of the humans on Roshar and like the first few desolations when humanity existed solely within the, you know, what would become Shinovar and later what would become the Makabaki Empire, right?
Mm.
And so I can imagine a world in which as the heralds wage this war in the first few desolations, they become more prominent in different regions in the
Sure.
West. And so,
Mhm.
you know, Ishar tends to fight here, and then the people of that region ends up, you know, worshiping him more than the other heralds. And then Talon fights here, and Fedel fights there, and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are a few other random like saying that Steen's economy is heavily based on sea silk.
Wow.
Oh, there was a cool fact about the boat there. Sorry.
yeah.
The boat?
No, go ahead.
Excitement. Where was that page? It was interesting. One of the oars is just a regular old oar for the boat, and the other one is sharp, so you can cut the sea silk as you row.
Sure.
Yeah.
Marat has families pass down auspicious patterns for textiles that become more intricate with each generation.
Sure.
And if the family includes rug makers or carpenters, they integrate their ancestral pattern into each piece they make.
Where is Marat? Is that close to Erie?
It's central Roshar.
It's central. Okay.
It's literally like right south of Urithiru. It's like
Okay.
directly down. From
Oh,
there.
so it's close to Greater Hexy.
It is adjacent to Greater Hexy.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Good
Unfortunately, we
job.
didn't get any Greater Hexy lore.
Yeah.
No.
Lesser
No,
Hexy, just, everyone knows about Lesser Hexy.
It literally only shows up in the pronunciation guide of how to pronounce Hexy.
Wow.
Incredible.
There's no lore about it.
Wow. Greater no more. It's not that great, actually.
Yeah. Well, even lesser Hexy. Greater
Yeah.
and lesser.
Yeah.
To the same amount.
There is no Lesser Hexy, by the way, just if you're looking at the Roshar map. Just in case that joke audio only when you're not staring at the Roshar map does not work for you.
Let's see. Herdaz had generally like talking about how it's a good agricultural stuff. They talk about the hog, all stuff we knew.
Yep.
One thing it does mention is that the people who were the freedom fighters who were fighting to oppose odium included some singers who had been promised emancipation. So
Cool.
it's sort of more, I think mainly like if you want to be a singer character who has a Herdaz background, then this can be, part of your backstory or something.
Yeah, I think
Each
that
of
is
these
expanding the options a little bit. So like you don't have to be a listener.
Let's see. And then, okay, so a bunch of Horn Eater stuff now. So I'm not going to, okay, I'll try and pronounce the names here. So they say that hunting parties from the peaks, which like leave the basin that's all hot and go out into the cold,
Sure.
are led by women called Kaluk-iki, which
Yes.
translates to she who the many hands of death cannot grasp, which is I don't know if you'd be able to figure out what Kaluk means and what Iki means, but cool name.
Sure.
Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one that Rock had mentioned to Kaladin, right? So
Oh,
that was all the way back in the Way of Kings. They were in an inn. They're still talking about like escaping and stuff like that. The bridge cruise, and Rock says, so someone says, yeah, the eastern edge of the Shattered Plains is open, and Rock says, yes. And when you're able to travel that far without being eaten by Chasm Fiend or killed in floods, I shall name you my Kaluki Iki.
Yeah, and then
So
it looks like
that was the only
translate it.
reference that we had. Yeah, and then only women
and-
can be Kaluki
Yeah.
Iki.
But it's a neat, I think, I assume, reference to Death's Friend, because they're like
Sure.
spiders with a lot of hands.
sure.
think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Horn Eaters would know about that.
Yeah. With
'Cause
decided.
Yeah, the position of hunting party leader is also matriarchal. So it's like passed from mother to daughter. We sort of have known for a while that, like, well, since book 1, that Horn Eater sons have like the birth order thing assigns occupation.
Mhm.
Apparently, daughters have a different thing. So when women come of age, they visit the spouse of the head of the family and are assigned an occupation based on village needs. So basically, their birth order doesn't matter.
Okay.
Apparently, the Kaluki Iki are also known to guide offworlders who come out of the perpendicularities. They guide them off of the peaks to the lowlands in exchange for gifts. So
Sure.
makes you wonder
Don't forget
what,
the stinky shoes.
makes you wonder what kind of gifts Hoyt or whatever would be gifting.
Yeah.
people who,
Powerful god,
guide 'em.
man.
Or like Bayon, when he shows up, he like just gives him a gun or something.
Interestingly, each village has a communal expedition supply shed located near its border, so everyone can kind of share their gear. The shared boots in these sheds are known to be especially odorous. I appreciated that little fact.
And then it says also that, so basically we have the thing about fourth sons being the ones who can fight. Apparently
Sure.
they have some agreement with Yakaved where Yakaved can conscript fourth sons. And during those times, the hunting leaders have to defend the peaks.
Sure. Because they're technically under that. Yeah, for sure.
Eerie, we have some interesting stuff about cobblers are held in high regard because good footwear is culturally important.
Interesting. I like how Raal Elarim was considered like singer territory for much of Rosharan history. Makes me wonder, like, what I guess was Feverstone Keep like, just to keep an eye on the singers nearby?
There's a mention of Feverstone Road.
Whoa.
Let me see.
Yeah, which
That's
I
there
assumed is a road from, or maybe it's just said it's a road from Raulorim to Feverstone Keep.
So Feverstone Road it was said to be once connecting Raal Elarim to Feverstone Keep, now buried under layers of creme. Legends persist of something called the Betrayer's Path, which began somewhere in the city. But yeah, there's a lot of Raal Elarim specific lore here. Yeah.
There's some really great stuff in here, like you get the Vapor Light Festival. Sounds fantastic. It's in the first days of the weeping when the rainbows spill across the storm falls most brightly. City dwellers take rafts into the reservoir to celebrate their Vapor Light Festival. So that's interesting.
That's fun.
So it is worth reminding everyone that Raulorim is this city that's like built under a rocky outcropping, and then there are waterfalls that almost form a barrier between like the outside and the city itself. So these are these rock falls that Bonnie just mentioned, and so you can imagine how. And you can look up an image of that on the Coppermine. We've got that, or you can look at this.
Nice. And Raal Elarim is where Lift is from, so we'll presumably see some flashbacks back here.
Yeah,
And then
and the storm falls they fill a large reservoir, which now is used as a site for meditation by people called tide readers.
Oh yeah.
But apparently,
that's in the books.
In the past, Truthwatchers would meditate near the pool.
Then you also have, let's see, the Vapor Spren, who glide about the pool on gossamer wings. You also have the Trail of Stars, which is probably my favorite part of this entire book. But those who learn of the migrations of the Iriali, The Cosmere soon question the where, when, and how. And then an Iriali might suggest their inquisitive friend visit a local cobbler and seek the Trail of Stars. And the trail is a carefully kept oral tradition spoken among many of Ral Alorum's shoemakers. Its countless stories teach the importance of taking the correct steps along your unique life's journey, keeping vigilant for signs along the path, and, of course, finding the proper footwear for the next leg of the trail. Elements of the trail's eclectic tales have become embedded throughout the architecture of the city for those who know where to look. Out-of-place prior statues, glyphs with strange flourishes, and arches adorned in peculiar metals. Anything could be a sign placed by a trail adherent hoping to inspire a traveler to find their way.
Cool.
Just so fun.
That's fun.
What I'm getting is a lot of focus on feet stuff in amongst the Eerie.
Well, you can put your feet in the waterfalls, Easy.
I bet that'd feel nice.
I bet it would.
Did we get anything about the long trail?
It did come up a little bit.
Social customs usually stem from the Iriali religious tradition of the long trail. Loved ones greet each other by asking, "How is the journey for you?" And occupations that focus on journeying are valued highly amongst the Iriali. So, cobblers, shoemakers, stuff like that. And all of the Iriali have these little travel packs that they always have ready, so that if the call comes,
they're ready.
They are ready to go.
In Ral Alorum, there's the Dirge Hollow as well. At the base of the overhanging mountain where the streets are in near constant darkness, the lawless district known as the Dirge Hollow collects the poor and downtrodden. Here, the anti-fused resistance enjoys relatively free reign. The district earns its names, this is really interesting, its name and reputation from countless stories of hauntings and terrible visions. Enigmatic shadow spren, wailing songs, and wandering figures all feature in these tales. Many beggars and urchins are afraid to stay too long on the streets of the Hollow, but they often have little choice. The stories reflect a tragic truth. The crypts beneath the Dirge Hollow host the gem hearts of shadow form singers created by Ba Ado Mishram.
Okay.
Gotta pause for that.
Yeah.
During the false desolation. Trapped between the cognitive and physical realms, these incorporeal singers have suffered imprisonment for millennia.
Well, that sucks for them.
Super interesting
That's cool.
plotline there.
That sucks for them. Presumably, one or more of these is why Ral Alorum is known as the City of Shadows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's strange that Badamishram could create a form. That seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
That does not surprise me at all.
No.
It does sort of like, did she create the spren? Presumably shadow spren that the shadow forms bond? Or
I think she must have.
That could have been a thing that she did with the Well of Control, right? She had like that doesn't seem unreasonable that she can create like some spren in addition.
Yeah.
Like she connected to every singer. So it's like that's not that crazy.
Because it doesn't make sense to me that like if Shadow Spren already existed, I don't see why there wouldn't have been shadow form singers. I'm like maybe she like revealed to the singers that, hey, you can bond with this thing, and here is the proper like emotion and state of mind that you need to be in. But that sounds boring to me. It sounds far more interesting that like she invented a brand new spren and therefore a brand new form of power.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We love that.
And then I guess something happened and they got stuck.
Yeah.
Well,
trapped between realms. That's how Janat. That's how Janat is described.
Yes, it is.
As being between realms. That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm always curious how you can be trapped between the cognitive and the physical, and how is that different from being in the spiritual?
If I were to take a stab at it, I would say that it's similar to how it's similar to astral projection, where you are in one of the realms, but you are so far pulled into the other that your physical body is somewhere, right? Other people of that realm can touch you, but your view, like you see both kind of equally.
I guess we have precedent for that with the singers.
We have precedence for that with the singers, except pushed, far more. We have that with Janat. We have that with Shallan's astral projection stuff. We have that with Kaladin when he's like learning his powers and he's flying through the chasms. So some kind of like confusing experience.
And the fact that it's like that cognitive realm, physical realm, like going between them, it did remind me of Janat, because I wondered if Badamisham used a previous spren and like it was a kind of like enlightenment, but that does kind of get into Janat's territory. So I don't know if that would be a thing Badamisham could do. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's just creating new spren, because you can do that with a bunch of investiture. That's fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe enlightenment comes into this in some way, like maybe like Mishram looks at what Janat is doing and is
as like a
trying
guide
to either as a guide or inspiration, or like combine that with something else, or like use an enlightened spren for like as a form of power spren. Maybe shadow spren are corrupted light spren.
I feel like you typically wouldn't want like those sorts to be sapient. I don't know. The sapient void spren are very weird, and we don't know much about them, really.
Yeah, I was thinking about like, could they be some of the sapient void spren? But
yeah. No, I was going for like light and shadow thing, but yes,
sure.
It should probably be one of the more animalistic spren.
Yeah, but I think that's everything that we have about Iri and Raleigh Elarim that isn't from the Stonewalker stuff.
Any other stuff?
We have some other stuff from the Reshi Isles.
Okay.
Apparently, there are about 100 Taina, tens of which are inhabited. So gives a rough number. And as far as we know, none of them are aligned with Odium. So good amount of giant great shells wandering around who might be allies in the future.
Might have
also
sunbeams on top of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. There are actual normal islands in the Arashi Isles, and some of which are inhabited. And it's noted that apparently when the singers were awakened, there had been enslaved singers on some of those islands, and some of these islands were basically seized and turned into other places where non-aligned singers could sort of find refuge.
Okay.
So
definitely seems like the RPG's trying to give some play options for singers of different ancestries and things, just to give some options.
Not only give them more play options, but also not establish any group of peoples or cultures as monolithic, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not that all singers are now evil and aligned with Odium, and kind of portray the diversity of opinions. And
I really enjoyed that each of these sections in here for each of the different places had kind of a space for what's going on with the singers there.
Yeah.
They didn't get ignored, which I really appreciate.
Oh yeah, there was this weird thing in the Thalen lore that linked the passions to the idea that the most passionate will one day be able to reopen the Oath Gates and use them as portals between worlds. So implying that there was knowledge of what the Oath Gates were, because it talks about using them to travel between worlds. Interesting. I assume that if this is canon, they just didn't know that where the Oath Gate was in their city. They were just like, oh, there are these Oath Gates.
Yeah, it's probably more like that. Yeah, like there's legends of there's a mysterious thing and someone will come and open the Oath Gates. Yeah.
Well, even if they did, like, what does that do for them?
I think it's like they turn the Oath Gate into some random.
I know
like
the Azish one.
Wasn't it? No, the
Azimir one was market.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did get a confirmation about the names of the expanses and how the expanses in Shazemar and how they map to planets. I think we'd gotten this through WoB or something, but it's now written down in a book.
Broken Sky is freshly canonized.
That's
Oh,
we had
Taldane.
suspected.
We didn't know.
We had
So
suspected it was Taldane, and now we know it is Taldane.
Nice.
And then we already knew that Vapors is Cadrio, Vibrance is Nautis, and Densities is Cell.
I guess one other small thing before we get to potentially something that will be discussed is there's a note that in Western Roshar, the general belief that the leader of the Heralds is that it was Ishar and not Jezrien, which I think is fun.
Sure.
Potentially, you could come up with some historical reason that people in the West think that Ishar is more important than Jezrien. Maybe just Jezrien decided that Eastern Roshar was cooler, so he hung out there more.
I mean, there's also the Eastern culture is more war-like, Western culture is more spiritual, kind of on average.
Yeah.
And so that aligns better with Jezrien as the, not military. Military is not the word I want to use, but like the more physical presence among
Martial.
the.
It's sort of chicken and egg in that case of like, are they more martial because Jezrien was there, or is Jezrien there making them more martial?
Yeah.
But yeah. So the one thing that, as far as I know, was not talked about in Wind and Truth, but is mentioned here is that Prala, so let me get the exact quote. So it's describing each herald has a section in the world guide, and in Prala's it says, on Ashen, she was one of the future heralds who served Passion, granting her the power of future sight. So I think it's just interesting that she seems to continue using that Passion granted future sight once she gets to Roshar.
Yeah, because I'm looking in Wind and Truth, and Jezrien saying we need to know what's coming, and Prala sees the truth as it might be. She always has, which must be the reference to that.
Yeah, I don't think this is new. I think this is a rephrasing of that scene.
Of that, yeah.
It's interesting. A lot of the stuff in here isn't new. It's just rephrased in a way that makes it, I don't want to say
More
easier
digestible.
to digest. Yeah.
No, it is. No, that's correct.
It also kind of like takes the stuff that we've been dancing around in the books and is like, no, here's the history right here. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. Like they were looking at books and WOBs and whatever and going, okay, how can we put this much in the way that like when we are writing Coppermine articles, we're like, we're looking at the books and we are trying to distill that into something digestible and approachable. They're doing the same thing, but in a more like novelized for it. You know how RPG books have this like tone to them?
Mhm.
Obviously, that's what they're doing.
No direct reference to Prala serving Passion in Wind and Truth, but like obviously
all the
like,
heralds,
except
like
for
Nail did.
Yeah. So like that part's like newer, right? To explain that, but that's kind of interesting.
I think one of the interesting pieces, or one of my favorite pieces of this, is also just the history of Roshar, how they really boiled it down and made it a lot easier to follow.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Specifically, the hierarchy, I thought, was just put very cleanly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just made it a lot easier to understand and kind of follow exactly what happened in the history rather than trying to figure out like poor Yasna's doing with just digging through 5,000 different books and etc. to try to find actual history.
Sure. Any other tidbits you want to talk about?
Oh, I forgot the most important lore out of the entire book, or either of these books, I think, which is talking about the focused one's hair spears. They can make their hair into spears using tension. And
nice.
Apparently they use aluminum rings to bind their hair so that their spears have aluminum.
Sure.
So I think that, I don't know. I feel like if Brandon knew that was the case, I feel like all of Wind and Truth probably would need to be rewritten to accommodate that. Yeah.
They're still pretty
Let's just say the Battle of Narok would not have gone down that way if the aluminum rings were in the focused one's hair.
Taken from a completely different part of the book, but related. I can't see very well to see if I'm getting this.
Okay.
Is it?
Oh yeah, the fused or the singer statues in Ral of the Ream.
Oh, that's fun.
So it says under there, I'm sure that's not clear enough to see the text.
No, not at all.
A singer or just a spiky personality?
That's very funny.
Yeah,
Nice.
I know that there was a mention of singers having their own great cities before the Desolation, which I think is something we knew, but
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the pretty clear implication is that Ral the Ream was one of these great cities.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's a brief mention in Relane's vision of his ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
He sees that. He's being told that. We did learn about some new bits of flora and fauna
Sure.
from these books. Nothing worth discussing. It's just that, hey, if you are curious or if you're setting an adventure in Shar, there is more than is in the novels. The one thing that I will call out is, because it has been a point of discussion in the past, if you recall, in Dawn Shard, the book, there is a big kind of beast that shows up on the beach.
Yeah.
It's described as being grub-like, and it attacks the sailors there. I think we've kind of assumed that it's like a special sleepless hordling for a long time that they breed specifically for defense or something like that. It appears that this is just a great shell, or some kind of a Rosharan native animal known as Euthorak. And it has a little description and a stat block in advanced adversaries.
Cool. Well, obviously, a lot of stuff, but we wanted to talk about some of the new lore stuff. Obviously, the lore stuff is not, groundbreaking, but that's the line that you got to kind of deal with the RPG book, as we were saying earlier. But, it's fun stuff. Good product, beautiful books.
And this has obviously not been the extent of the new stuff that shows up in these books. There's a lot of very little one-off, one-sentence, little pieces of trivia. We do not need to talk about the Vavanach, which is a criminal gang that is emerging in the breakaway market in Eurytheru, or a lot of the other one-line, hey, here is something that makes the world feel more lived in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that there's something about there's a certain high prince who's positioning himself to become the technological rival to Eurytheru in the Shattered Plains, and presumably the events of Wind and Truth sort of got in the way of that. But yeah, I'm sure he would have been able to beat Navani if that hadn't happened.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
100%. She has no advantages whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I think let's head on over to who's that Cosmere character.
This character is from Roshar.
Menace, Tien,
Tom,
Raise,
Void in drag on a horse.
It's time for Who's That Cosmere Character? Caw. Welcome to Who's That Cosmere Character, the game show where you send 5 clues in a character to wtcc at 17shard.com. I read each clue aloud, and after each clue, these guys have a chance to guess who's that Cosmere character. Let's start with the one from Victor DeSena. Clue 1. They're a slave.
Claude.
Claude?
Yeah.
No, it's not Claude.
Eladin.
It's not Kaladin. You got it, right? You got it.
Gotta.
Izuyuga Rushu.
It's not Rushu. Clue 2. They are prideful.
Still not Kaladin, huh?
Still not Kaladin.
Be sure about that.
I'm sure.
I guess I'll have to go Moash.
It's not Moash.
Yeah, we can go through a lot of bridge for.
Yeah, there's just plenty to choose from.
I kind of don't want to, because they are, as of current events, they were freed, right?
Sure.
I wonder if this is some kind of animal, like a beast of burden type of stuff.
Sure.
What is that horse that Kaladin tried to ride in Words of Radiance?
I think I know the name of this, actually. I know the name of this horse.
Was it Dreamstorm?
I believe that is the name of that horse.
Yeah, I wanna guess that horse.
It's not Dreamstorm. Oh, I appreciate that though. It's like,
When did this one come in?
this one came in September 2024.
Okay.
So pre-Wind and Truth, I guess.
I'll take a guess on Lopen and then continue to wait for the next clue.
It is not Lopen. Clue 3.
I'm sorry, the Lopen.
Sorry. It's not the Lopen either. Clue 3. They are a scholar.
Well,
Are they also a gentleman?
let's see. Do I know any Ardents other than Rushu by name?
There's always Alista. I wouldn't describe her as
Is
Was
it
it
the
proud or
Ardent
prideful?
who interrupts the Ardent who is reading the romance novel?
Alista's friend.
Yeah.
No. It is not that hard.
Is it Vasher / Sahel?
It is not Vasher / Sahel.
Okay. Slave proud scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Sazed?
It is not Sazed.
Hmm.
Clue 4. They are a cameo. Or a Tuckerization, rather. Let's say.
Okay.
Oh, is it Scar?
It's not Scar.
He is.
I jumped on that
None of
conversation
these
way too
things.
fast.
Oh no, is it? Oh god, what was his name? There's a guy who showed up in Keeper cosplay once, and Brandon named a terraceman after him. Oh brother, I know your name.
Is that your guess?
I mean that's the one that I want to guess.
That's a sufficient description. You don't need the name.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay. Cool.
No, it's not them.
Okay.
My knowledge of Tuckerizations is not strong enough, so I'm just going to guess another random Ardent.
Okay, good.
Now I need to think of an Ardent. Is it the?
Let's guess an Ardent. Oh shit. I don't know an Ardent.
It's probably not Kadash because I wouldn't describe him as a scholar.
No.
I was going to say the Ardent who makes the glove that Kaladin uses. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they're even named.
No,
there is a name.
It's a T name.
Yeah.
Is it them?
No, it's not them. No. All right. Well, Clue 5 is going to be super helpful, guys.
Great.
Oh, boy.
Love that.
This
'Cause
character's an
they're-
Ardent.
They are an Ardent.
Sick.
Nailed it.
Well,
I get
we
the
have
points
we
for
have
that.
eliminated a good number of the named Ardents.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, go for it.
Capsule?
Nope. Capsule's not a reference.
Yeah, I mean there's Garanid and the A one whose name I can never remember, but I don't think either one of them is Tuckerized.
Nope.
There is one, but she doesn't show up until Wind and Truth, and this was
Okay.
before then.
It was.
So unless this is being submitted by a beta reader,
No. It's not. It's not.
When did the preview chapters start coming?
No. Wind and Truth's not relevant for this.
yeah, there were a couple of Ardents in Kolinar in
Mhm.
Oathbringer.
Mm-hmm.
There's Kaza,
Mhm.
but I don't think she's a Tuckerization.
No. It's a Tuckerization that's very obvious, I'll say.
Okay.
Is it what is the version of Isaac that's the map maker for
Oh, is Sasik?
Keflar?
Isasik.
Yes,
Is it
it is.
Oh,
We got
nice.
there in the end. It is the the Royal High Cartographer.
Okay,
Nice.
Isasik Shulin,
Very nice.
who may hail from the city of Shulin, but we don't know specifically.
No.
So
Also different from the other Isasik, the Windrunner.
Yeah.
that is true. That's the different Isaac. Yes.
Hate that so much.
Yes, same. All right, great, good job, guys. You made it there.
And then
Hello.
is the Inkborn artist that Shalon learned from, is that Isaac or Ben?
No, that's Dan.
Dandos the Oil
Yeah,
Sworn.
Dandos.
Oh,
Santos.
Dan DeSantis.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is Dandos Santos, yeah.
I love those because I think we've had Dandos the Oil Sworn a few times for sure.
A couple, yeah.
All right. This next one is sent from Ashaman Rich.
Oh, I know that name.
Yeah.
Yep.
In Clue
I
1.
know the candy posts in other.
Yeah. Clue 1's really going to narrow it down, guys.
Characters from Roshar.
This character has a dead spouse.
Oh.
When was this submitted?
Oh boy.
November 2024.
Okay.
Is it Evie?
It's not Evie.
Okay.
That's a little close to the acceptability of that.
That's true.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Dead spouse.
Dead spouse.
I'm gonna go on like a massive technicality and go with Vin's mom.
It's not Vin's mom.
Tavidian got executed.
Yeah, but they weren't.
Oh, but not a
It's a
spouse.
spouse.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I wasn't.
It's
Yeah,
like, what are you?
that's fair.
I'll go with Dalinar.
It's not Dalinar.
I'll take the easy one.
Clue 2. This character is very proficient with an invested art.
Oh,
I suppose.
jeez. What's her name?
Kelsier.
I don't know.
It's not. Is that your guess, Evgeni?
That's my guess. Yeah.
No, it's not Kelsier.
So I
What's
guess
the,
technically Mare was not. I keep guessing lovers or not lovers, but like,
Sure.
God damn it.
Sure. I think lovers could qualify, but Tavidian does not count for that.
Yeah.
It was not a good situation
I'm
here.
I'm
okay?
getting closer to spouse territory.
Okay, great. Maybe eventually you'll pick a spouse. We'll get
Is
there
it Dalinar?
eventually.
My next guess is
it?
valid.
I said Dalinar.
Bonnie did
did
guess
say Dalinar.
Dalinar already.
One of you guessed Evie, the other one guessed Dalinar. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
that's right.
doing good. What's I don't know if they were ever married. Claude's other half.
Claude's other half?
Jules? Don't
Jules.
guess Jules. Do not. That's
Say your guess.
that's worse than my guesses.
Okay.
It's really funny.
We will move on.
Is
Is
it?
that- yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to think of edge cases where this would count.
I mean,
Like, where's the trick answer here?
does it have to be a trick answer?
Is it Vasher?
It is Vasher.
Oh, hey.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Ashaman Rich, who put in this email. In celebration of Wind and Truth next month, let's go with the big character with hopefully challenging clues. Nope, got a clue two.
My next guess was gonna be Wax.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
look, Shashara, very dead. Died twice. Super dead.
Yeah, she did. She did. Yeah.
Clue 3, this character has killed invested individuals. Sure. Namely his wife.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. Clue 4, this character has eaten squid. Okay. Maybe that was like what he ate at the restaurant in Warbreaker, maybe? I don't remember.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's like
Probably.
chapter 5,
Yeah.
I think. And then clue 5, this character doesn't know their name.
Oh, that's true, isn't it?
I forgot that. I
Huh.
thought that he just didn't tell anyone his name. I didn't.
No,
remember
no, but
forgot it.
he only knows Warbreaker the Peaceful. That was the name he was given. No one else knows his name. Because that was his, he doesn't know his pre-return
His
name.
return name. Yeah.
His
Mhm.
original name.
Oh, gotcha.
I was going to guess Shashara because I thought it'd be funny to.
It
I was
would
like,
have been.
you know
It
what,
would have been
for once I'll
funny.
go
It
with
would have
Sure.
been funny. Yes.
That would've been
would've been funny. Yearly reminder that Nightblood is not Nightblood's
Nightblood's original name.
Yeah.
Mhm. I have not maintained my trademarked list of questions for Brandon because there hasn't been much need to do maintenance on that list. A question about that is still on that list.
Like just asking what his original name was, or
or whether I think my question is whether Nightblood itself remembers its original name.
Okay.
Or I think the question is specifically, does Nightblood think of itself as Nightblood?
Interesting.
I really wanted a Nightblood interlude where Nightblood's talking with the other Honor Blades. That would have been good. We were robbed.
I mean, were we robbed if this was never going to happen?
It would have been fun. It would have been fun and silly. All right, let's go to our Who's That Cosmere Character priority queue. You can submit things to our priority queue, so it won't be a year plus.
It won't be November 2024.
Yes, that's right. These are solidly 2025 here, except for some that I didn't do or that I'm saving for Who's That Cosmere Character episode. Mare. She has another one of the emoji ones. I'm like, I'm not doing that one.
We'll save that one for a bed episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you're a Herald on Patreon, patreon.com/17chard, you can submit to our priority queue. But of course, you can support our Patreon anyway for as little as $1 a month, and you can get cool outtakes and vote in our art polls. You can see Bonnie lose her mind in the last episode, which is very good. So you should go pay us $1 to see that, and our other amazing outtakes about Notum and other things.
Our monetary strategy, our financial strategy is absolutely terrible because you can pay $1 and go watch all of the outtakes that we have ever posted.
It's true.
And then stop paying us.
Yeah,
but
it's not very good. But
no.
Cool. I'm glad I said cool because this one is from Coolio Colophon. Nice.
We love Coolio Colophon.
All right. Clue 1. This character is a listener.
Lift.
It is Lift.
Yes.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
My inability to guess conventional characters and always looking for the trick answer pays off.
Look, the other two weren't tricks.
The trick answer.
The other two were not tricks, right?
Sometimes it is the trick answer.
This is like
With the priority queue ones.
Yeah. This is like the worst episode for that question because we were just talking about. You spent like 15 minutes talking about Edgedancers.
It is true, but I did think it was fun. Well, sorry, Coolio Colophon. Anyway, the other clues. This character is not evil. I like that.
Okay.
Clue 2. This character does not like changing form. Okay, that's pretty good. With listener. That's pretty good.
That's
pretty good.
Damn.
This character knows multiple non-humans. That's pretty funny as well. And clue 5, this character has met a fair chemist.
These are really good clues.
That actually legitimately fantastic Who's That Cosmere Character that Evgeni immediately got.
I ruined it. Let's run it back. No one needs to know this.
Retake from the top, guys.
Is it Yaxlim?
Definitely Bentley.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Sorry you had to wait a while for a Stormlight RPG lore, but yeah, sometimes when we have to do research, it takes a while to get a cast together, as opposed to something that we can just BS immediately, which is usually what we can do, honestly. We'll do Stonewalker stuff sometime. I don't know, guys. Eventually.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a few like categories of episodes that we need to do, right? We still have Wind and Truth stuff, we have Ember Dark stuff, we have RPG stuff.
Yeah, there's so much going on. We're gonna have State of the Sanderson next month.
State of the Sanderson is coming up, yeah.
Any I don't know if there's gonna be anything relevant from Tailored Realities Nexus. We'll probably talk about it in the State of Sanderson episode. Nexus is next month. We'll have a booth, guys.
Wow. I will say there is at FanX, was it?
Uh-huh.
Was it? Yeah, it was FanX. Yeah, so at FanX a couple of months ago, Brandon read from something that doesn't appear that it's going to turn into a real story. He's only got like a few chapters of this. Is it a few chapters? Is it a single chapter? Yeah,
and
it's
I
a few
believe
chapters.
endowment was referenced, if I remember the live blog that Eni had, but I don't know how accurate that is.
Unclear. No, endowment is mentioned. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to dance around that. But Brandon did read. He talked about how he's been obviously playing around with Hoyd's voice as a narrator of stories, and we have seen the outcome of that in something like Tress of the Emerald Sea and Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Obviously, the end game for all of this is Dragonsteel.
Yeah.
And so Brandon did read a few chapters from an attempt to explore Hoyd's voice. And this one, he says, might have been a little too far, a little too much, a little too silly.
Okay.
So we'll probably not get that. But the reason I mention all of this is because we finally have audio of this. You can finally go either read the transcription or listen to Brandon read it to you. If you go to Arcanum,
nice.
wap.coppermine.net, there is a under Discover, there is a readings page, and under readings you will find The Princess is what we have called this, even though it is unnamed.
Okay.
First 3 chapters.
I have not looked at this at all, so that's exciting.
It has flown under the radar of a lot of people, which is why I am bringing it up in an episode.
Cool.
I have been waiting for that to get posted.
Yes. Ooh, interesting. Well, I don't think we'll have an episode on this, but go check it out.
I don't think that we will, but maybe we will spend the intro of an episode at some point talking about that.
Yep. Cool. Well, you can find us on 17chard.com for all news, discussion, theories, and fun that you could want. You can join our Discord server, discord.gg/17chard. And you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/17chard, for as little as $1 a month. Just get a lot of good stuff for $1. Wow.
If you pay us $50, we will get a little less than $50. And you will get
That's true.
the same things that you will get for the $10 tier.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, we will see you all next time for something else. We might skip, maybe not next episode, but like there's supposed to be an episode coming out around Nexus if we count the weeks right, and I might just not do that because I'm going to Nexus. So yeah,
between Nexus and Nexus, Thanksgiving,
it's weird.
Winter holidays.
Yeah. There'll probably be another episode in November, but we'll see. I don't know, but we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
My God, Bonnie, it's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm known as an enthusiastic teacher when I lecture, and you're just like directly into mom voice, very like up there, excited. Yeah, it's crazy. Call.